Sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today is NBA schedule release day. The NBA released the in-season tournament schedule earlier this week, and now we will get the full schedule, which will be released on NBA Today at 12 p.m. Vlatko Adnotski has resigned as the head coach of the U.S. women's team. This comes after the U.S. women had their worst showing in the World Cup, losing in the round of 16 to Sweden. And Adnotski finished with a 3-2-5 record in major tournaments with the team. Assistant coach Twyla Kilgore has been appointed as the interim coach for the women's friendlies against South Africa, which is scheduled for September. Those are your headlines. Now let's get to Whitey and Watkins.
They're going to take it for a W.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car. It's a show specifically for you, Sacramento. Whitey.
She got a new song out of this anyway. Hoops, I did it again. So that's right. Hello, is this on?
No, Watkins.
I'm sorry. I know I don't want to be the wet blanket on everybody.
It's Whitey and Watkins, and it starts.
Hurry up!
Now.
This is an exciting time of year, am I right? We have schedule being released today, the NBA schedule. We already know a lot about that. Wink. We also have more preseason football, so we're approaching that fall sports convergence.
Yes, that's a great way of describing what's happening.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're almost there. Yeah, schedules are being released, and football is finally being played, and we're getting close to real action time, and it's definitely, you can feel it. You can feel it start to change. I just wish the weather would change with it, but besides that, yeah, we're feeling good.
I think it is supposed to change a little bit over the next day or two.
A little bit cooler, but today decided to not get the memo. So we got to get through today, but then after today, we're feeling good, we're looking good, and things are right around the corner.
I've had the privilege of working in Sacramento for many, many years, and one of the things we used to do on our various shows was we would have, during the heat of summer, just the hottest points of summer, we would look for the person with the worst job on a hot day. And we had
that's
all
all
the roofers and people who were installing insulation, things like that. We had to say, you know what? Or blacktop, like you guys all, it's a separate category because it's so hard. Yeah. And we, it's a tie for first of all but then we look for other jobs. One of the ones we had was like somebody in Tahoe, I think they had to go under a porta potty and clean out like the dead animals.
I mean, that's just an unfortunate job in general. I don't even think that has to do with the heat. The heat obviously makes that a little bit worse.
Right.
For
I think we had somebody who had to inseminate cattle one time. We gave them the prize.
Again, that just kind of sucks as a job. I don't really know if the heat, like where my mind went was like sign spinners, like people who have like the quick quack duck or something standing at the corner having to tell people that they're, $8.99 for a car wash today or something. That's where my mind went. But for sure, absolutely, people have to dig in latrines and get dead animals out. Yeah, that's
not a great job.
I would definitely say
that, but especially in the warmer weather.
Yeah, your imagination can do wonders.
So it looks like we're going to get some relief, but then probably how it is around here. Yeah, we have football approaching, but it's not like September comes and then woo, where's my
jacket? Yeah, no, it's still it's still toasty out, but it's more just, again, it's just the mindset of it's around the corner and it's coming and it's not far away, and that's the same with the basketball season as well. It's all right around the corner.
Next month, camps open in the NBA and the NFL season starts.
Crazy. That is so crazy to say. Yeah, I mean, at this point next month, we're gonna be getting excited for Kings camp starting in a couple weeks. The guys will probably be in town. We'll have I'm sure at that point we'll be full steam ahead previewing the Kings season. Niners will be underway.
Right? Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. It's
steamy.
It's almost here, man. It's almost here. But there's still some stuff going on now too. So
is there anything that we know about the schedule so far? Obviously, Dave broke down a lot of it today.
Yeah.
Anything that jumps out to you? We got the full release officially at noon.
I would say definitely, and you pointed it out before the show to me. I mean, the first three games are a gauntlet. That's if you want to make sure that the Kings are going to hit the ground running, if you want to see what kind of team the Kings are going to be at least at the beginning of the year, you're going to get a good test in the Utah Jazz game 1, Warriors game 2, and then Lakers game 3.
What?
That's a really rough gauntlet of teams. I mean, obviously the Warriors and the Lakers, 2 playoff teams last year. I've talked about the Jazz and how they were one of the best teams or one of the most surprising teams, maybe besides the Kings last season for the first half of the year. It's gonna be a really big test to start off the year, but that seems like a great way to really get a grasp on where they stand. I mean, obviously it's not the end all be all. The Kings started 0-4 last year, but you definitely want to see them get off to a better start this year. And those are 3 really good Western Conference tests to see where they're standing.
I think the Kings have a little bit of a built-in advantage over other teams early in the year because in essence, they're running it back. So a lot of things they're going to be doing, they've already been doing, but you are working in a couple of key people, or at least, Vezenkov working a new player that's at some point expected to be a major contributor. That's going to take some time. But if you're going to remember early in the year last year, and you know this better than I do, I mean, it took Mike Brown a while to figure out, all right, who can I play and where can I play him? And I think they're beyond that now. And a lot of teams in the West are dealing with that early in the year.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they were starting, Rashawn Holmes. I don't know if he was starting in game 1, but he was getting significant minutes. And, Keegan Murray didn't start for the first couple games of his career.
Well, Okpala was starting,
Okpala, right? Yeah, that's right. Casey Okpala, who wasn't even on the team, by that midway point in the season, started in game 1. It's definitely going to take some time, but you would hope that with a year under his belt, with, like you said, I mean, a group that's pretty much run back from last year, you would hope that Mike Brown has a better sense of what he wants to do with this team to start the season. Obviously, it's going to take some time for Sasha to kind of get his feet, under him and
Duarte
get comfortable.
too,
Duarte as well. Yeah. So, you might not see those guys as involved as what they will be, in the flow of the season. But, I think that we're going to get a good taste of what it's going to be, especially, just seeing how far Keegan Murray's developed in that short amount of time. How Malik Monk is going to, address this season after the incredible postseason he had last year. It's going to be a really, really fun start to the season, but it's going to be challenging. And there is a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. In our bold Kings predictions, I already said the Kings are going to sweep the Warriors. So there's a possibility that they start 0-3 with how tough that schedule is. But
look at the tweaks that the Warriors have to make, and I think they're better with CP3 than they were with Poole, but they got to figure things out. The Suns as well. And in that regard, the Lakers are kind of scary because they're essentially the same team. And last year, beginning of the year, they were awful. Yeah. Took them a while to figure it out, and now they're kind of running it back.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with them, of course, we all know is health. But early in the year, that's a team that has a chance to get off to a really good start, build up a cushion that then they can rest on as their players start breaking down, and they have to rest them later in the year.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you laid it out perfectly right there. I mean,
I don't like saying that.
No, I don't think any of us do. But the fact that the Lakers, the Kings, and the champs, the Nuggets are really the 3 teams that ran it back the most of all the teams at the top of the West. And
We're running it back.
They running it back, and with running it back is going to come a level of continuity. And you pointed it out so perfectly there. The Lakers are going to be healthy, and that's not something you can guarantee at really any other portion of the season when you're going to play them. And you assume they're going to be healthy in game 3, and you're going to get a really good look at a team who's also going to be trying to get off to a really hot start as they're LeBron and AD, like you mentioned, are going to take a lot of time off throughout the regular season. So, they're going to want to hit the ground running as well.
So tonight starts week 2 of the NFL preseason.
Yeah.
We're talking about all the things approaching the fall convergence.
Preseason.
So when we're done with week 2 of the preseason, we'll be 67% of the way through the NFL preseason.
That's a great way of looking at it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No more 4
almost
weeks.
Done.
All that. Almost done
yes.
is exactly how we should be approaching it. Yeah, we will be almost done with the NFL preseason. And then I think they have a week off in between week 3 and the regular season, but that'll hopefully fly by quickly.
Saturday, the 49ers taking on the Denver Broncos. Hear that game right here in Sactown Sports, of course. And this is what it looks like the quarterback plan is for now. And the 49ers haven't committed to this, so this could change, but this is the way it looks. Matt Mayoko reporting that it appears Sam Darnold will play the first half with Trey Lance being called upon after halftime.
Interesting. So
again,
they're going to do the flip.
Trey behind the 8 ball. It's like Sam Darnold apparently moved past him in the depth chart, and he gets first crack at it this week.
Well, I'm sure that that's not how they're going to frame it. I'm sure they'll say that this was always the plan, and, Trey was, Trey, this has nothing to do with Trey's performance last week, but, I definitely think that this is, at the very least, it's them trying to get a really good look at what it looks like with Sam Darnold under center for an extended period of time. I mean, he got 2 or 3 series in the first preseason game. They want to see what it would look like if the very real possibility of Brock Purdy going down.
I think this was probably the plan, regardless of how Trey Lance or Sam Darnold played last week. But they officially, the 49ers, haven't decided whether starters will play against the Broncos, but it's looking as if Purdy will once again be held out of action.
And that's good. I mean, there's no reason to test that. And, if you have him, he's practicing now every day, no more day restrictions. I think Shanahan actually did say yesterday there still is a little bit of a pitch count on him, so it's not completely free to go, but he's at least practicing 3 consecutive days now. So yeah, I mean, there's no real reason to put him in any harm's way and put him in an actual game and risk injury. Why?
Brandon Allen due to return to the team, be on the practice field today. His wife gave birth earlier this week, and he was excused from practice for the past 2 days.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan had no idea. Yesterday they were like, so
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, he knew that he had the kid, but they were like, so just for clarification, did he have the kid yesterday, or was it? And Kyle was like, honestly, I have no idea. The days are getting. He
wanted to go Tommy Lee
classic
Jones
mistake. Yeah, he's like, I don't care when the kid was born. I just know he's not here today, and that's really all I care about. I don't even know if it's a boy or girl. They said that. He just said he needed the day off, and I said okay, and that's pretty much what he was like. He was like, honestly, the days are merging together. Yeah. I think it was yesterday morning.
Coach,
yeah,
you understand that?
I'm not a life coach, okay? That's the therapist, the team therapist when the kid was born, okay? I only care about what he's able to strap up. So, I mean, I don't think there's much to do about that. But Brandon Allen still continues to not get 11 on 11 reps, it seems, and that's probably not a positive for if the 49ers are gonna move on from Lance and keep Brandon Allen. I mean, he hasn't really gotten many reps the last 2 weeks. So I don't know if that's a sign of where his standing is right now or if that's much to do about nothing, but it's definitely something that's noteworthy.
I saw a piece today by Matt Barrows. Maybe you saw it too in The Athletic. He says, look, if you're the 49ers right now, why give up on Trey Lance now? Why?
Right.
And he's compared his situation to Alex Smith's.
Yeah, I did read that. That was a really interesting piece, and I think there's definitely some parallels there. And I just fundamentally disagree with trading any player at their lowest value. Like even in basketball, like James Harden and Damian Lillard right now, they're at their lowest value because they're demanding trades. Trey Lance, obviously, after the performance on Sunday, nobody's picking up that phone and calling the Niners asking about Trey Lance for any, and giving up anything significant.
What if I throw in Zane Gonzalez, huh?
I thought about that yesterday when you mentioned it. I was like a little, maybe Trey doesn't interest you, but if we package it with another backup,
that'd be a pretty good package.
That's you like depth? Yeah. I mean that might at least get you a 4th round pick, maybe a 3rd round pick at that. So, I guess it's not completely crazy.
No, you would trade Moody. You would cut Moody right now. You would cut Latu and you would cut Moody.
I would definitely cut Cameron Latu right now. But Jake Moody, I could still wait and see on a kicker. I'm willing to give a kicker some grace, but Cameron Latu, come on, man. You got to start catching some.
We're coming right back with a look at how the new schedule means different things now than it did for Kings fans when the Kings first moved here. That's next year with Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. Need the latest on your Kings?
In Nerlens, in all fairness, I mean, he can protect the basket. Very unselfish player.
Looking for the freshest scoop on the Niners?
Trey Lance not being on the roster is an option for them. Why else would they have 4 quarterbacks around? But I don't think it's the most likely.
Want to find out the latest on the MLB playoff race?
I think Bailey has kind of been the glue to put this all together because you got to have an elite catcher to make a run at a late playoff push.
For all that and more, check out SactownSports.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California, and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com. #1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Chat's full today. People excited around here about the release of the Kings schedule.
Yeah, man. Kings fans, they never disappoint, and it doesn't matter if it's big news, small news, schedule release. They're going to show up and they're going to be excited. And it's the first little taste of the new season rearing its head around. We already know opening day is going to be October 24th. We know the preseason games. I can't remember when that starts. I think it's mid-October, and yeah, I just think people are kind of starting to get excited about the sports calendar in general, just heating up, but especially Kings basketball. There's with the start of or the basketball season around the corner. So does sports basketball talk, and that's all people want to hear is us talking
people excited about
Kings.
fantasy football. Pardon me, and thank you, Pike 916. Apparently, there's going to be a chat fantasy football league, and we're invited. So thanks, Pike.
I don't know if you want that, Pike. I don't know. I don't know, man. I've been in my fair share of leagues, and I tend to not finish last. That's what I'll say.
Whoa.
That's all I'll say. I definitely don't win them all, but I don't think I've ever finished last in a fantasy football league, which is, as we talked about yesterday, that could be its own separate goal, is just not to finish last.
Don't want to take up all your spots, Pike.
Don't want to be the punishment.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'd have a combo team or something. We'll think about it.
That's a
very
great
nice.
idea.
Very, very nice.
Very nice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the schedule comes out today.
Better not get Verlad in there, just so you know. Verlad's the champ around here. So,
well, I was going to take a spot and then hire him to be my GM.
That would have been a great move. See, that's a really, really good move. Maybe you can just front him the money and he can, build the team for you, but you can just be the owner of the team. You can be the GM.
We've talked. I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Any more
negotiations
than that,
are internal.
We've had discussions.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
I gotcha. I'll.
So if you were thinking of doing that,
I was. That's what I was. I was like, okay, I
have an exclusive negotiating window.
With
Chris Verlad for his GM.
No tampering period.
Yeah, absolutely
legal.
not.
It's the legal tampering period right now. But
not.
I'm gonna have to stop at the bank after the show and pull some money out.
I was thinking of this this morning. Of course I was. I don't know why I would even say. Of course I was. But thinking of how Kings fans looking at the schedule, how it's changed over the years, the new schedule coming out. And I wasn't here when the Kings first moved here, but I know talking to my brother, Phantom, who was an original season ticket holder, one of the things he's told me is that early on, you'd get the new schedule and you just couldn't wait for the superstars coming to Sacramento.
Yeah.
1985, 86, like Magic Johnson's coming to Sacramento.
Right. Yeah. Larry Bird
playing in a real game.
Yeah.
And we get to watch it.
Be here. Yeah. Like we can be in the same building as Magic Johnson.
If Magic was at the mall or something, be like, hey, Magic Johnson's here. Now it's like he's playing a real game here.
Yeah.
So that was very exciting to circle those dates.
For sure.
See when they were coming, and Elijah won. And of course, that first year, the Kings were a playoff team.
Right. Yeah. In 85. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could imagine. Yeah, exactly. Like the brand new to the city and the level of excitement that I'm sure people felt of just like, oh my, like that's probably when it really sets in that we have an NBA franchise is, oh my gosh, these mega stars that I've only seen on TV my entire life are actually going to be in my town in a building. And it's like, it's pretty much like going to see a concert, but obviously a different setting, but I could understand how
and that was in the tiny
exactly in
building.
Tiny Arco in the first Arco, right? I mean, that building was rocking, and I can't imagine just how I mean, I hear how ridiculously loud that place got, but I cannot imagine in that first season, the first time either Magic or Larry shows up, just how ridiculously loud it got in there.
First time I came up here for a game with my wife, Sheena, we're driving up 80, and I look over and there's an Arco sign. So I check the gas. Do I need to pull over? Oh, that's not a gas station. That's the arena. That's a quote unquote just like arena.
Yeah, it just like had like a little Arco, like it pretty much just looked like a gas station. Pretty much. Like not the arena itself, but like the signage outside. It was a
very small building, and you probably been by it a million times.
Where the first Arco was?
If you go out to Arco 2, you probably
drove
right by it a million times. It became like a building, hospital, not a hospital, but a place where hospital workers worked, or like doctors' offices or something like that. You've probably been by it a million times.
Yeah.
It's just like an office building.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And of course it was supposed to be temporary.
Right.
They had to get
it wasn't
something
built
up
for permanent.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Up to specs.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I've never actually gone out of my way to try and figure that out. But yeah, I mean, I hear crazy things about that old barn, and just the sound levels in there. You think Arco 2 was crazy? I mean, that place was literally just an echo chamber of noise.
Then it became, when is MJ coming?
Right. Yeah, in the 90s, absolutely. Can't imagine how much those tickets must have gone for at that time. I mean, I'm sure it's like the price of like a preseason ticket nowadays, but it's just like I can't imagine just the fever for those tickets.
One of the things that stands out to me looking at this over the years, there's always been, other than a few exceptions here where things were just so dreary, but there's always been so much optimism that this is going to be the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember,
even when things were terrible.
Yeah.
It was just, is this the year that we start to feel some hope? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And and then you get knocked down and Kings fans come right back. I think it was 20.
You lose some 15. Along the way, but yeah.
But then you light the beam and all of a sudden, Remember when Carl was the coach and they brought in Rondo and they had DeMarcus, and I remember talking to a guy who's a huge fan. He was telling me, "Oh, they're like the Suicide Squad, man. The bad boys. You watch this." And I was trying to say, I mean, I guess maybe. Yeah, and then, I'm the bad guy. Oh, you don't believe, huh? Well, no.
That's how it was for a long time. Yeah. It was like, I don't want to be a contrarian here, but I kind of don't just I watched the rest of the NBA as well, and they still don't really stack up. Like, just because they have Rondo, who's way past his prime, and Rudy Gay and DeMarcus, who wouldn't know what a teammate is if he lived with him. Like it was, I mean, there was no way that team was ever going to really find success.
And then in the glory days when the Kings were so good, and it was when are Shaq and Kobe coming, and is that going to be a nationally televised game? Are we going to see them on like a Sunday on ABC? Because those games were national events here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that was the first time.
That again, obviously.
The first time it probably really felt like, Sacramento was on the national stage. Like, it was the early 2000s, internet still kind of in its, really early stages. And it felt like at that time when the Kings are on ABC or when they're on in the finals or playing on Christmas even, it feels like, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe that this is happening
Kings
in
Lakers
this city.
On Christmas. Yeah. Bobby Jackson broke his hand.
Yeah. Man.
And then you'd have, like your boy Duncan against Webb.
Right.
When are they playing? Those were
Garnett. Exactly. Games. Yeah. The Mavericks as well. I mean, the Kings created so many rivalries in that time as well. Even the Rockets were a team that always was a thorn in their side in that time. It was, that's, and, I feel like my parents were season ticket holders around, or like, went in the pool of season ticket holders. And it was always like kind of like what you're saying, like, okay, I want to make sure that I get at least one Laker game, get a Spurs game in there, get a, if you can get a Timberwolves game in there, see, like you're saying, Garnett against C-Webb, that's what it was. Like once the schedule came out, you would, tier your games and be like, I got to go to this game. And now it is truly more like, I can't wait to see this team. And, obviously the other teams are still going to play a part in the excitement, but for the most part, you can show up to Wizards games and still be like, we're going to see the Kings and just have a blast watching our team go today. And it obviously just hasn't been that way for, I don't know, the last 15, 16 years.
When they broke up the Weber Vlade teams, then the team really fell on hard times, and the Maloofs made some investments that went sideways. And we were season ticket holders for a while, and we were season ticket holders because we wanted to get tickets to all the games that you really wanted to see.
Right.
And we wanted tickets to the playoffs. And if you didn't have season tickets, it was really tough to do.
I think
but it got to a point there where it was, we literally could not give tickets away. It's like there's a game we couldn't go to, and no one wanted them.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So that's a funny thing. They have a wait list.
Yes.
There's a wait list, and then when no one wants to go anymore, that wait list, whoosh,
Whitey,
gone.
I'm not joking. There was a time when I was an intern at this station, and we would have, no joke, I'm not even kidding, we would have 50 tickets that we would have, like, I was part of the promotion team, the street team. We would set up in front of the arena, and I would call all my friends. I would call everybody. We'd try and pass them out at the game. People who show up early say, hey, do you know anyone who wants to come to the game? We have all of these extra seats together, lower level. Nobody. Nope. I was pretty much a season ticket holder for like 2 years, and I didn't buy a ticket once.
And they were there, and now they're through that. That's the worst thing. That's what Monty's done. Probably the most important thing he's accomplished is that people care about the team again.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
When your
I'm sure you
own
can feel
fans
it
are like, they play,
yeah.
And it was that way for a little bit.
Absolutely.
It ain't like that anymore.
Well, and kind of the funny thing is, you mentioned how you were kind of the wet blanket for people a couple of years there. There was a lot of time when just that was the prevailing thing, was everyone was like, no matter how much you tried to sell the team of like, I don't know, I feel like the things are kind of starting to change. People just wouldn't believe you. They would say, no, like I'm done with that team. Oh, the Maloofs, oh, Vivek, oh,
they didn't believe
somebody.
They had no faith.
There was no faith for a large, like, in the Kings faithful, and you obviously know who you are. There were people who stuck through the entire 16-year drought, but man, you lost a lot of soldiers. And like you're saying, just people who completely lost faith that this thing's never, ever going to get turned around.
And the faithful will be rewarded. Coming up next,
I hope so.
A Dodger fan naming his daughter after Mookie Betts. So which King would you name your child after?
Great question.
Whole time coming up here with Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday, looking at sun and clouds and another hot day today. Not as hot as yesterday, but still plan for highs in the range of 100 to 105 with overnight lows in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Did you know the average person walks 100,000 miles in their lifetime? It's true. That's a whole lot of stress, strain, and pressure ultimately put on 2 feet. Hi, DC Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store. As a spokesperson for Good Feet, I run into all sorts of surprising foot-related facts. Like, despite relatively few Americans being born with foot issues, over time, 75% of all adults will experience painful foot or foot-related problems. By supporting all 4 arches of the foot, the Good Feet 3-step arch support system can help return your foot and whole body to its proper alignment. Come to the Good Feet store for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk. Experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. online at goodfeet.com.
Don't wait. The giant summer sale ends soon at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We make buying a new Honda easy and stress-free. Pre-order online or in person today. We'll be there to help you every step of the way. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Today is NBA schedule release day. The NBA released the in-season tournament schedule earlier this week, and now we will get the full schedule, which will be released on NBA Today at 12 p.m. Vlatko Andivnovsky has resigned as the head coach of the U.S. women's team. This comes after the U.S. women had their worst showing in the World Cup, losing in the round of 16 to Sweden, and Andivnovsky finishing with a 3-2-5 record in major tournaments. Assistant coach Twyla Kilgore has been appointed as the interim coach for the women friendlies against South Africa, which is scheduled for September. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Brand new NBA schedule comes out today, officially at noon. We've already had a peek. What do we know so far about the schedule, Chris Watkins, as far as it relates to the Sacramento Kings?
So we know from our friend in the mornings that does the show with Jason and Jay Mars. Let's see here. Let's go to Dave's Twitter. And the Kings will finish the season on a 3-game homestand. They'll end the season playing New Orleans on TNT.
And we had said yesterday, I'm sorry, but we said yesterday they have 11 home games in.
Yes, in the month of March. Yeah. So they will have a ton of home games in the month of March. The Pelicans on TNT on the 11th, Phoenix on the 12th on NBA TV, and then Portland on the 14th. And that will not be on national television. Tyrese Halliburton returns to Golden One Center on January 18th. And the Kings will have 14 back-to-backs. Let's see, a 6 and a 7 game road trip as well. That's all according to Dave. And I believe we also learned today that the third opponent of the season, we know from a couple days ago that the Jazz will be the Kings' first game of the season. The Warriors 25th, will be the home opener 27th. On the 27th. And I believe on the 29th, it will be the Los Angeles Lakers.
Ruh-roh.
And they will also be playing the Lakers twice on ESPN this season. Once on November 15th. That'll be in LA. That's on a Wednesday. And then later in the season in Sacramento on March 13th. Both of those games will be on ESPN.
I'm anxious to see if they have any of those Sunday showcase games because, that was one of my predictions. I don't know whether they will or not, but obviously – on some level, Kings fans have to be pleased that they have so many games on ESPN and
definitely
TNT.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 21 total between NBA TV and ESPN and TNT as well. So 22 actually. 11 on ESPN, TNT, and then 11 just on NBA TV. So what is that? That's about almost a quarter or over a quarter of the games for the Kings this season will be on national television. Through some either NBA TV or those two cable networks.
What do you think is the biggest reason for that? And I know we're going to talk about this on Factor Fantasy, the showdown here. But what do you think is the biggest reason, the biggest draw nationally?
I mean,
I'll just say that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I really think a huge part of it from the league standpoint, what do we like about this team? The crowd's here. The team is playing great, but I think the atmosphere here for big games, it's incredible. And I think it's really good for the league to show the country. Look how excited these people get about their NBA team.
Yeah, about basketball. Yeah. Just about not necessarily. And they don't have Steph Curry. They don't have Giannis. They don't have Luka. They don't have any of these massive stars. This is just a city that is excited to have good basketball.
I've never seen anything like what we saw game 1 against the Warriors. And I remember those Lakers series, early 2000s. They were incredible.
Yeah.
In the old building.
That game 1 was the word unique almost doesn't even fit it. Like
it fits, but it doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't do it justice. Like, it just the sheer amount of Kings fans I saw in one concentrated area was absurd. Like, legitimately in front of Doko 2.5 hours before the game starts. I don't even know how long that is before doors even open. It might have been like a half hour or an hour even before doors even open. Just Kings fans from wall to wall in Doko, literally from in front of the arena all the way down to Sauced and all that, the Starbucks, completely full with people only wearing Kings attire. I've never seen that in my entire life. The buzz is definitely back around the city. You can feel the excitement. Season tickets, I believe, are completely sold out. It's going to be impossible to get to games this year. I just think that the energy that they bring is like you're saying. That's definitely a huge drawing point for I think national TV and just making the games feel important when they happen. But I think also just this team was really, really fun last year. It was a big surprise. They had an explosive offense. Who doesn't love to put explosive offenses on television?
You're right.
Obviously that Clippers game was absolutely ridiculous. If they can try and get a game even a portion of as exciting as what that was, I think that would be a massive win. The players are fun as well. On top of Mike Brown, who had the best sound bites of any NBA personality last year.
He had his own beamy category.
He did. It was a once in a generation kind of performance from Mike Brown last year on the mic. And
we have got to put together some beamy trophies.
We
can present them on media day.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we can maybe get a 3D printer or something like that.
Need a shopping cart for all his
exactly.
beanies.
That's gonna be a tough one for Kevin, but I think that it's really just that. It's the fact that everybody's so excited and the team is actually a really, really fun product to watch. And they should, in theory, be just as, if not more exciting this year.
You're right.
With all the additional offensive weapons.
You can't separate one from the other. The crowds are incredible, but if the team doesn't play well, you don't have that. I recognize that, but still, the way the fans brought it last year in the postseason, especially, I've never seen anything like that. And I'm telling you, I remember being at Kings Lakers playoff games in the early 2000s where you could not hear the person right next to you.
Right. Yeah.
Just like, what? I don't even talk to me. I have no chance.
It was crazy. No chance. It wasn't even, the playoffs was consistent and every single home game was ridiculous, but there was even moments where, it would be like that Utah game that has the at this point iconic crowd pop from that Kevin Huerter game winner 3 that won a beanie. That was just a regular season game I think it was during the week, and it was kind of in the beginning stages of the season and still had that kind of crowd reaction. I just think, like you said, the fans in Sacramento, just the level of excitement that they feel. They don't take anything for granted. Like we mentioned with the Warriors crowd last year, there was a bit of like wake me up when the next round happens. Kings fans, they're just excited to see a team have a chance at winning.
So how about this from a Kings fan's perspective? You know that a Dodger fan was at a game against the A's, a Dodger game against the A's, and Mookie Betts was on deck, and the fan told Mookie Betts, if you hit a home run, I'll name my daughter, I'd give her the middle name of Mookie. And Mookie Betts did. And Mookie said, don't do that.
Yeah.
Your wife's not going to like that. Don't do that. But he hit the home run and the fan did. Let's see. Francesca Mookie Mancuso. So that's the name. So
what if I told you Mookie's not the worst part of that name? Excuse me.
So the question is, we have to put enough candidates together here to have a poll. If you're going to name your child after a Kings player, do we go all-time Kings players?
I think we might have to, because I'm definitely not putting Keegan on that list. I'm 100% not.
You're not?
I'm not going to recommend.
Jared has to go, right?
De'Aaron is a pretty unique name too. I don't
sure
know if
it
that
is,
should
but
be. I guess Mookie is as
Mookie
well. Mookie
is not like run of the mill.
At least Mookie is kind of like, it kind of sounds like a nickname. Like De'Aaron is very much like name. A very, it's a unique name is all I'll say about it. I don't know if that.
All right, we'll take suggestions.
Yeah,
then.
I think it should actually be like a good. Like I don't know if I would have suggested Mookie in the first place, but I would like it to actually be good names.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 if you want to give us a call, or you text us here on the chat, of course, YouTube chat. Give us your ideas here. What Kings player, past or present, would you name your kid after? We go middle name if you want, but I'd say we're Kings fans.
Right.
I think De'Aaron has to be on the list. Chris Watkins disagrees.
I don't know. I mean, there's just DeMontis. Like, I don't know. It's just the names that the Kings have to offer are not.
Peja would be great, wouldn't it? Sasha, Peja.
Sasha's not bad. Yeah, I like Sasha.
Malik.
Malik's
a great name.
Malik's a great name.
We'll continue with that. Also coming up, Gabe Kapler would like it known that he doesn't care for your question. Coming up with Whitey and Watkins. Schedule release day. Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hold up. You're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop. The all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Fortinet Championship returns to Silverado Resort September 14th through the 17th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With wine experiences, rockin' shows, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Fortinet Championship, September 14th through the 17th. For tickets, go to FortinetChampionship.com.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouth-watering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idategreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on.
Y'all ready to do it again, Sacramento? Country in the Park 2 is coming to Heart Health Park at Cal Expo Saturday, September 9th with Cole Swindell, Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, and more. Plus, a mechanical pool, line dancing saloon, and all the food. Tickets start at $40 or grab your Coors Light Y'all Access passes for $125. For more info, visit SactownSports.com. Country in the Park 2. Brought to you by Shane Company, Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, and the United States Marines.
Gold Country Casino Resort Norville is proud to present one of the most powerful voices in country music.
Come on now, we're running out of moonlight.
Randy Houser, live in concert on Saturday, September 23rd.
Let me show you how.
Purchase your tickets now to see all of Randy Houser's greatest hits. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. Download the Sactown Sports app and listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
I thought this would be a layup as we're trying to come up with just candidates for our poll here.
Yeah.
What Kings player's name would you give your child? Maybe even just as a middle name, like the Dodger fan named his daughter Francesca Mookie Mancuso, I think it was. Yeah.
Franny Mookie?
Franny Mookie.
Franny Mookie.
Yeah.
Why not?
And Chris is, I got to tell you, yesterday was wet blanket.
It was.
Wednesday.
I know.
Chris is like, I don't think I should just have to be a wet blanket on Wednesday. It's like, that's fine. You're right. But
I saved it for today.
Today he's telling, I don't like, these are not good names.
I just don't think that they're good names. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't think that it's more just that they're not common, and it's just, I would like it to not be, it shouldn't be so obvious.
We're talking about Mookie.
Yeah, but Mookie is even kind of a nickname, is it not? Like, is the dude's name actually Mookie Betts?
No, it's a nickname.
Thank you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Marcus.
But
Marcus
her middle name
is Mookie. For sure.
You know why he was called Mookie?
No clue.
From Mookie Blaylock.
What?
His mother or grandmother, I guess she was a basketball fan or something. So he was called Mookie after Mookie Blaylock. Mookie Blaylock, by the way, as you probably know, was the band Pearl Jam's original name. Did you know that?
I think I'd heard that story that they named it after
yeah.
Mookie Blaylock, and it was just like, why would you do?
Pearl Jam.
Why is Mookie Blaylock's name Mookie? Like, what is this term? What does this term mean? Because Mookie Blaylock's name is Darren. Like,
there used to be Mookie Wilson of the Mets.
I just got to trace this thing all the way back. Keep giving me Mookies, and I'll just try and trace it back to whoever had this thing first.
De'Aaron would be a fine middle name. Chris or Webb. The best one would be Malik, because of course
Malik's
that
a great name.
Means king.
Oh, that's a great point. Right. Yeah. I forgot
Arabic.
about that. Yeah. He did say that translates. No. How about Noel? Like, Nerlens Noel. Not that you should name it after a guy who's got a training camp.
We're talking about all-time Kings, and you're going Nerlens Noel.
I'm just literally looking at this year's roster. Sasha. I think Sasha's a beautiful name. It's a
if
great
you're
one.
having a girl, I would go for Christy.
Look at that.
Chris, you are just the best, man. That's fantastic.
He brings it all home.
That's
And we needed that
fantastic.
because we were losing Watkins
That
on
is
this.
so good.
Completely.
I mean, yeah, like, don't name your kid Peja. Like, that's just too on the nose. I don't know. It's just I don't. Am I being weird about this? I feel like I'm being weird about this. Yeah. All right. Maybe I care too much.
What about Bobby?
That's a great name.
Works for a boy or a girl.
Yeah,
it does.
Great point. Yeah, you can just do BOBBI even.
So, Mr. Verlaud, if you have an opportunity, if you can take all of this
Chrissy's great.
nonsense and distill it down to 3 or 4 candidates, we'd appreciate that, and let us know when you're.
Just name your kid Divac.
Okay, I mean that.
Wait, what were the names that you weren't for, but you wanted a Divots?
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I don't think he's for any of these.
Isn't there a soccer player Divac? Isn't that Origi's first name? Divac Origi? No, I could be wrong. Yeah, no, I don't. The ones that I would be for, I think Christy is a great one. I think Bobby's a fantastic one. I think
Maybe.
Yeah, probably not.
What about Jim? Jim Less. It seems like
I thought you were going for Jimmer. I was like, no, that's not
Jim
a good
Less.
one.
They've had Jim Peterson.
Not a good one.
That's just a solid American sounding name.
Tyreek. How about Tyreek Evans, Rookie of the Year? Right?
Well, I'll
have to.
We'll give you a right of first refusal on the ones that Christopher Lutt comes up.
I really like the Christy and Bobby. To me, are definitely two front runners for me.
I wanted you to hear this. Gabe Kapler, manager of the Giants here. The Giants aren't playing well, as you may know. 4 straight series losses. They've lost 10 of 11 road games, although they were home yesterday. On this home stand with runners in scoring position, they hit 115. So he's 5 for 44. So the skipper's a little, maybe feeling a little
testy.
Pressured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple days ago, Giants had the bases loaded, 7th inning. They're down 5. And Wade Meckler was up, and they let him hit. Yesterday, same situation. Unfortunately, down 5, 7th inning, Wade Meckler up, and they pinch hit for him. So beat writer asked Gabe Kapler, good question, right? Hey, what's the difference?
Yeah.
A couple days ago, you let him hit, and then yesterday, you let him bat. Gabe Kapler apparently didn't care for that question.
Earlier this year, you talked about why you stuck with Wade Meckler, and with the bases loaded against a lefty, bases loaded against a lefty tonight, you decided to pinch hit Slater for him. What changed, if anything, in that decision?
I'm absolutely happy to make the distinction, but I'm just curious if you know the distinction.
Is it just Slater versus Ramos?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a disrespect to Ramos in any way, but I think Ramos has like 4 career pinch hit at bats. Slater's one of the best pinch hitters in baseball. So I don't mind, of course, explaining something, but I just sometimes wonder if the question is, hey, can you say it? Or if that distinction isn't clear. I'm just curious about that.
Slater hasn't been hitting awesome either. He has more of a track record, sure, but
would you agree that he's one of the 5 best right-handed pinch hitters over the course of the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah.
Do you think there's that creates a distinction between him and a guy that has 4 career pinch hit at bats?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm not criticizing you at all.
I'm
just wondering if what you're asking is for me to say that, or if like whether or not there's a distinction at all for you.
It was a similar situation, so I think people would be interested to learn.
Sure.
And hear you explain it.
Yeah, and so I mean, again, Slater's one of the best pinch hitters in baseball, particularly against left-handed pitching over the course of the last 3 seasons. And so in that situation, we trust that he's going to go up there and have a good at bat. He didn't. He grounded into a double play. But I had him go up there because he's really, really good at that. Just has had a stretch where he hasn't had a lot of success.
Wow. Gabe Kapler's done a great job, but there's no other major league manager, I don't think, today in managing today who would respond that way.
Wow.
I can answer the question, but why are you asking me the question?
Yeah. I just want
that's not your job. You're the manager.
Yeah.
That's your job. And it's a good question.
It was a great question.
Perfectly logical, legitimate question.
Analytical at that, noticing similar situations.
I wonder if you already know the answer to the question.
Just like, I mean,
feeling it.
Yeah, he clearly has some
struggling
issue that is just being taken out on that poor media person who's just trying to do their job and
who
ask
hung in there.
He did. Also great on that media member because
took some inside pitches and hung in there.
Yeah, I probably would have crumbled. Like that's honestly like
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I asked. I don't know. I thought no. Okay, next. It's fine. You can go on to the next question. It's okay.
Yeah.
I would have completely.
Could you just? People want to know what the difference was.
Yeah.
Well, I know. And I'm not criticizing you. That's hey, you're my guy.
Exactly. That's literally what he did. He pulled the drapes. He was like, look, like I'm not criticizing you. I'm just publicly questioning your question in front of all of your peers. But I'm not coming at you. This is not. No, what? Me? No. Come on. We're just talking.
Feeling the heat.
Yeah, that was That's not a good sign right there. That's him. That's definitely, the pressure of everything.
Happened. I wouldn't be surprised if he walks that back a little bit.
I'm
they
sure
don't play
he
today.
I'm sorry.
But that's your job.
Yeah, it's just to answer questions from the media, and
you have to answer really bad questions. That's part of your job.
That was actually a good question.
That was not a bad question.
That's the thing. If you're going to get mad at somebody for actually asking a bad question, not something that's, just because you feel attacked and you feel like maybe they're trying to spin a narrative of, I don't know what I'm doing.
You know the answer, but I'm wondering, do you want me to say it? Well, yeah.
Yes,
that's the answer.
That's what I ask sometimes, and it's a media trait. Like sometimes you got to ask the obvious question. Sometimes just to hear the coach say it and say like, yes, coach said exactly this. I mean,
he's probably feeling right now. The Giants, to a degree, do what they do with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, they
try to maximize matchups, and at some point, it's like, well, the magic ain't working now. I'm out of ideas, guys. I don't have anything else. No. What do you want me to do?
Do something. They should have done something at the break. Yeah. That's the answer.
Well, now they got to go play the Braves.
That'll be easy.
Philadelphia. So
that'll be cake.
Yeah, he's probably got that on his mind too. Coming up next year, we're getting ready for the schedule release today at noon. We do have some nice nuggets on the schedule already. And up next, Kyle Shanahan comes out in defense of not one but two of his young quarterbacks. Whitey and Watkins with that next on Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. Will Sam Darnold earn the QB2 spot on the 49ers depth chart?
Darnold out of his own end zone, throwing right sideline. Ronnie Bell's got it out across the 40. That was a beautiful throw.
Find out this Saturday as the Niners host the Broncos.
It opens up an opportunity for Trey and for Sam to come in and show us what they have.
Pre-game at 4:30, kickoff at 5:30 on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California, and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought it. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Come in now for a free arch support fitting and test walk.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today is NBA schedule release day. The NBA released the in-season tournament schedule earlier this week, and now we will get the full schedule, which will be released on NBA Today at 12 p.m. Vlatko Andonovski has resigned as the head coach of the U.S. women's team. This comes after the U.S. women had their worst showing in the World Cup, losing in the round of 16 to Sweden, and Andonovski finishing with a 3-2-5 record in major tournaments. Assistant coach Twyla Kilgore has been appointed as the interim coach for the women's friendlies against South Africa, which is scheduled for September. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
As we get ready for the official release of the Kings and the NBA schedule, our poll question today, inspired by the fact that a Dodger fan just named his daughter after Mookie Betts. If you were to give your child a Kings name for their first or middle name, which would you choose? I'm not crazy about the nominees here, and I appreciate Chris Verlad and you, Chris Watkins, working on this. I think I was thinking more of players worthy of the honor, and I think you were focused more on Christy, fine, Bobby / BOBBI, Bobby. Buddy
Hield was here a really long time.
I know, but we're talking all time Kings. You'd name your
hey, pass Peja on the most 3-point buckets ever made by a Sacramento King.
All right, and then other put your name in the comments. So those are the nominees: Christy, Bobby, Buddy.
I mean, if we were just doing the best Kings of all time, it would be Mitch, Webb, and
De'Aaron. I'm telling you,
Cuz Boogie. I guess maybe Boogie. Boogie would have been a decent one, but
do you want to name your kid after Boogie?
No, not unless you want that kid to be a scraper.
Anyway, there we go. But we have other up there, so you can put whatever you want in there.
Exactly. So if you're like Whitey and you disagree, just put other and put your suggestion in the chat so we can read off your.
See, I'm torn. The best name to me would be Malik because that's you in a way.
By
all
far,
Kings.
Yeah. Yep.
But De'Aaron would be also a good one too, just because he's De'Aaron Fox.
Nah, I disagree.
Okay.
I just think De'Aaron should stay. There should only be one De'Aaron, and that is De'Aaron Fox. I just don't know if anyone's worthy. Like
Fox would be a good one.
Fox would definitely be a good one. Yeah, maybe that as well. Yeah.
Which way are you voting here? You're going Buddy then?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Middle name, definitely middle
YouTube
name.
chat. That's our poll question for today. As I say, we're awaiting the release of the schedule.
Yes.
The 49ers, meanwhile, their schedule takes them. They'll be home. Santa Clara against the Broncos this Saturday. Looks like Sam Darnold will start. Yesterday, Kyle Shanahan, meeting with the media, found himself defending two of his quarterbacks. We'll start with Trey Lance. You know that we talked about this yesterday. Trey Lance has been getting pummeled in the national media.
Yeah, safe to say.
Pummeled.
Yeah.
And Kyle Shanahan said, you know what? That kind of criticism, it's part of the job.
It just goes with the territory. I mean, it goes with it for quarterbacks. It goes with it for anybody who's a high draft pick, but especially a quarterback. You watch, and that's one of the tough things, I think, for that position, but also for high draft picks. I mean, you watch receivers come in the league and they have a few drops early in camp, and there becomes a lot of pressure on them. People want to see those people take off and do it right away and have no flaws, and that's just part of it.
Is there anything you've had to address with him, or is he pretty good as far as the mindset, knowing what comes with the territory?
I mean, Trey is extremely smart, very socially aware. He knows how the world works, and so he does his best, which I think he does a damn good job of trying to block that out and just focus on getting better, and I think that's what he's done so far.
That's nice. Nice way to put it. So I kind of appreciate, rather than him saying, you know what, he's better than people think, he just said that's part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it really is. I mean, he mentions just like, I mean, quarterbacks, we all know quarterbacks will face scrutiny anytime a team loses. It's usually the quarterback who has to answer for it. But also high draft picks in general are always hyper scrutinized, especially early in their careers. And I know it's a little bit of a different situation, but I remember Jamar Chase, remember he dropped like 4 balls in his first preseason game, and he was dropping balls all throughout training camp, and people were like, oh my gosh, did the Bengals just spend the number 3 pick on a complete bust? And then, Jamar Chase had no problem the second the regular season kicked in. So it is just a part of, being a young high draft pick, but also absolutely, I mean, it compounds when you're the quarterback as well.
To me, the subtext there is almost, hey, and I don't think he addressed that to Trey, but on some level, I assume the thinking is, Trey, you hear all this? Yeah, and that's part of it, but you have the opportunity to shut these idiots up.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I mean,
it looks like he's not starting against Denver, but it's like, here you go. Yeah. You have a chance to, these people don't know what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And if he's really got it, like, I mean, this should be what, if you're really if you've got something in you that is different, this is the moment where you would shine when everybody's doubting you, when there's all this adversity and, people don't think you have it. Now would be a great time to be able to pull whatever you have deep inside of you and show all the haters wrong. Quiet everybody. The only way you can do that is with your play.
Kyle also had to defend Brock Purdy yesterday.
Man.
Because Brock Purdy, in 197 training camp throws, has thrown 10 interceptions.
That seems bad.
It's not good.
It's definitely not good.
That includes 2 he threw yesterday, according to The Athletic. So Kyle Shanahan, again, hey, you know what, guys? You never want interceptions in any situation. There's never one answer. Each one's different, but I definitely like having interceptions a lot more in practice than in games.
There it is. That's the classic coach speak right there. I feel like we could literally go back to when Jimmy Garoppolo threw all of those interceptions in training camp, and I guarantee you he says the same exact thing. I guarantee it's, oh, yeah, we'll much rather have those mistakes now, and it's good that he's trying this in practice because, he's got to figure out what he can't do in the games. Now is the time to really stress test what kind of things, what kind of looks you can try and fit tight window throws into. Now is the time to do it, not during games. That's classic coach talk. Right
Kyle
there.
adds that one thing Brock does is he lets it rip.
Of course.
He's not worried about anything else, especially not worried about people counting his interceptions at practice.
I wouldn't say that's a shot at Trey Lance, but that's interesting because during, if we remember what he said about his touchdown pass, the quote unquote touchdown pass the other day, it was, I just like to see I just like to see Trey make that throw. Like the fact that he saw it and actually tried to fire that in there, that's what I really like. And clearly that's something that he really covets with Brock, is the fact that, he's going to try and laser that thing in there, and there's no second doubt in him. It's just see the ball, throw the ball. And that's the heart of a Shanahan quarterback right there.
I also appreciate that Shanahan, to me, a little bit of a jab there to reporters who are counting interceptions in training camp.
Seems like these coaches are getting testy these days in the Bay Area, huh?
It does.
What's going on?
Purdy has, in 2 training camps now so far, he has an interception rate of 5%, which is
seems less than
abominable. But in the regular season, of course, he had a very fine interception percentage, 4 interceptions, 223 passing attempts. And Kyle says, that doesn't mean interceptions are all right, but I do like him letting it rip. Do you think that they should have opened up the starting job to all 4 guys in theory?
No. I mean, Brock Purdy earned that starting spot with his play last year. I mean, the only possible person who could have dethroned him was Trey Lance if he would have shown up and been just streets ahead of where he was last year. If he would have shown up and really started to show some of that potential and really, expand and, show himself as a runner. And, I think at that point, maybe then you could have argued that spot should have been open. But, with how Brock played last year, it just kind of would have been a little disrespectful to him unless injury would have dictated it. It would have been disrespectful to kind of just pull his spot.
It's hard for us to know, those of us who haven't been at camp, because we haven't seen him at all.
Right. Exactly.
And then you read these stories about it. Every other pass he throws is picked off.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it is kind of a constant flow, for better or worse, of who's the worst quarterback of the day. I mean, and best quarterback of the day. It seems like every single day you'll hear reports of, Trey Lance clearly had the worst day. Sam Darnold had a terrible day. Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions today. But you'll also hear it. Brock looked awesome. And, Trey, looked good. And Sam Darnold, has had a couple days where he's impressed a couple people. I think that everybody in this competition is definitely worthy of possibly being a starting quarterback if the situation were to play out right. But, I think how it's ended up shaping out, I think is probably how it should. I think, with Purdy being number 1 and Darnold and Lance just fighting it out for number 2.
It all drives home the point to me, a point that I've made, that you've made. It's just so true with the 49ers, especially this camp. I mean, these preseason games are a lot more interesting than preseason games often are.
Right. Just the quarterback situation and Money Moody on top of that. Like,
that's not a thing. That's money. That's like,
we'll see.
A sure thing.
I mean,
that's like, is the sun going to rise in the east tomorrow?
Hey,
sorry, Jared Goff doesn't know that. But.
You know what else? Kyle Shanahan announced yesterday. Not only is Lance going to be playing in the second half, Zane Gonzalez is also going to be playing in the second half. He said he meant to last week split the 2 halves between the 2 kickers, but
showcased him for a trade.
Sure, possibly. Or it sounds like Zane Gonzalez is also having a good camp, and
he is.
They want it to be in open competition at that spot as well.
No, it's not an open competition.
We'll see.
Competition's over. But they do. He's good enough where they could get something for him. He's done a really good job.
We'll see.
And as I said earlier, you got maybe that package. You need a quarterback and a kicker. Hello.
Hey, yeah.
We can let help us help you.
That's certainly a bundle. I don't know if it's a good one, but yeah, you can get 2 backup quality players at a very important position and one you probably don't want to think about at all. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it intriguing, but it's definitely a trade package that could put together.
I know I've been saying I think they're going to try to trade
Lance.
Yeah. Trey and out, whatever you want to call them, whatever your funny nicknames are.
Sure.
I'm not feeling as strongly that they are now, but I could certainly see why they would. It just comes down to, all right, if he's not the number 1 or 2 guy, does he benefit from being around here? Is he still worth us keeping? They're going to have to pay him anyway.
Getting better?
They're not going to cut him. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but do we trade him? Is he that big of a distraction if he's around, or is he better than
Brandon Allen?
Brandon Allen. Thank you.
I think yes. That's a really tough question. I think
Biederman had it right when he told us yesterday, said if they trade him, it won't be till after this year.
That seems to make the most sense. I think the I guess the Niners wouldn't care, but he just wouldn't. I don't think he would be getting better by just sitting as the third string quarterback and probably not getting any 11-on-11 reps during practice during the season or anything like that. Like, he would, for the most part, just still be watching, which is what he's done for the first 3 years of it, or 2 years of his career. I just think at some point this guy, whether it even be as the second string, he just needs to get as many reps as possible and just try and eventually get an answer. That's the problem, is we still don't have an answer of a definitive, is this guy an NFL quarterback or not?
Coming up, bottom of the hour, one thing the NBA has already done right with the schedule, although we don't have, wink, wink, the whole schedule yet. Up next, could this be the end of the road for the Chiefs superfan charged with armed robbery? It's a weird story.
Local ties.
Yeah, next, Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
So the Kings are getting 22 national TV games, 11 of which are real national TV, ESPN and the TNT.
Are we going to get to the point where we're just going to say the games that aren't nationally televised?
I mean, look, you know
Put
what?
them on. They're America's team.
They want what they want, Jason, and what they want apparently are the Sacramento Kings.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Enjoy the prime grilling season today with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Thanks for the interesting suggestions here on names of Kings players that you would name your child after. Sangailia is a great idea.
I don't think so.
White chocolate is an interesting. Although my understanding is that Jay Will himself wasn't crazy about that.
Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of it. I think it was the undertone of it.
Sure.
He just didn't appreciate. But yeah, I mean, it's nonetheless, it is still a really, really good nickname.
What about Presley?
Presley's a nice name. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Harold Presley. Yeah,
that was
sure.
a
Why not?
great guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
An early Sacramento King, not one of the original Kings.
Yeah, hangs around Sacramento a lot too. I remember.
Oh,
I think his son is somewhere near my age, and I used to see him at basketball tournaments all the time growing up.
He has a couple sons.
Yeah. I think it was one that went to UOP, University of Portland. I think
might be Bryce.
I think it was Bryce. That sounds.
Anyway, Presley's a
vaguely
fine
familiar.
name.
Yeah, Presley's a great name, and it's it's his last name as well. So that's you're not like directly.
It's a good one, although he wasn't a player here. Played in high school. Jerry
Reynolds.
Yes.
Really? He played. I guess I should have assumed that he played. I just never.
Jerry?
Yeah.
He played in high school.
Well, yeah, for sure. I guess that makes sense.
He's at one time, I guess in Indiana, they're playing, and his brother is he gets a steal, and his brother's like standing in the basket.
Yeah.
And Jerry wouldn't throw it to him. Because he said, that's my basket. And then him and his brother are fighting about it on the court. And his mother said, I've never been so
embarrassed. Yeah.
Jerry's like, I got the steal.
That's very un-Jerry-like.
I know.
I cannot believe that. That's incredibly un-Jerry. He probably would have yelled at himself as a coach. If older Jerry were coaching younger Jerry, would have gotten an earful from that one. Jerry had to have been a point guard, right? Like, I mean, he's not.
I'm not sure. I would think so.
Is Jerry taller in person than what you would think, or no? Because I wouldn't think Jerry's
but I mean
towering over anybody.
No, but I don't know how big people were at his school at that time.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
Smaller school.
Yeah.
But I assume he was a guard. But he had the steals. I'm not gonna throw it to you.
Yeah, no. Especially not your brother. No, that's mine. This is me time, bro. Come on. Come on.
So we're awaiting the release of the schedule.
Can't wait.
We've got, as I said, some interesting nuggets already.
40 minutes.
It's an exciting day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A little worried about the start of the schedule. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, what we're going to learn after the Lakers, it's going to be Denver,
the Warriors, and then the Lakers,
Miami, and then it'll be flying across the state to, or across the country to New York, and they're going to go on an 8-game road trip after that. So, yeah, I mean, definitely the start of the schedule is not friendly so far, but if anything, maybe that'll hopefully lead to consecutive games against some cupcakes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get some Charlotte, Detroit back-to-back or something like that. Maybe get a good handful of Washington games together. Yeah, can't wait to find out all that stuff at noon.
Gerald Wallace, the name suggested. I did a signing once.
Sorry, not a big
Gerald
fan.
Wallace was at this place where they had memorabilia, and he was signing stuff, and they had me sitting next to him. It's like, no one's going to want me to sign anything.
Yeah,
but
nobody.
Okay. So, everyone, there might have been 2 people like, hey, Whitey, would you sign this? Hey, Gerald, how you doing? People be nice. Like, okay. So Gerald signs all this stuff. And then the guy who ran the store said, Gerald, would you sign a beautiful picture of him? Sign this for Whitey? And I'd been sitting next to him all day. He goes,
yeah.
Who's Whitey? That's me, Gerald. Yeah. He had that deepest voice.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful picture.
Gerald Wallace. Yeah.
He went on to become a really good player.
Really good Bobcat. I wonder if he would have been able to have that level of success if he would have stayed here in Sacramento. I definitely think of that all the time. And, especially now with expansion talk reigniting in the NBA, makes me think of like, what would the Kings, like, who would they save? Who would they keep? And who would they possibly have to say bye to? I think you're only allowed to keep 9 players, I believe.
Depends.
Is what
they
it was
can change
last
those
time.
rules.
Yeah, right.
Like in the NHL, you can keep 2 players. That's why the expansion teams
are all sick. Yeah, it's like
how's that team so good?
Yeah.
Well, we could protect like 4
guys. Yeah, right. So
Gerald Wallace is great because it's like 2 first names. You could put that any which way. Geraldine Wallace.
Not a fan of the name Gerald.
Really?
It's not terrible. Like I think. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to name someone after him, you could go Wallace. Chris, Gerald, Wallace, Michael, Watkins. If you want it, I'm just saying it works.
Sure. Yeah. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Here's a name that you may have heard of, Xavier Babudar, but you probably know him better as Chiefsaholic on social media.
I think I know who Chiefsaholic is. Not that first.
He's known as a super fan, a Chiefs super fan, and he's in the news. He is accused of 3 counts of armed bank robbery, 1 count of bank theft, 11 counts of money laundering, 4 counts of transporting stolen property across state lines.
That does not sound. That sounds like one of Chris's story times.
I know. Federal. And you may have seen this guy.
You are kind of ruining it.
You may have seen this guy. The Chiefs do have an actual wolf mascot for some reason.
Yeah, I'm looking this guy up right now.
This guy wears a wolf's suit.
He does.
At Chiefs games, or at least he used to.
I want to say maybe the Chiefs mascot might be a coyote.
No, I believe it's a wolf.
Oh, it is
a wolf.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a Mahomes fan instead of a Chiefs fan.
And the reason for that is it doesn't make sense at first blush, but apparently there's a section of their grandstands that are called the Wolf Pack.
Sure, why not?
And they used to have,
it's like the Hogs.
I remember as a kid,
Washington.
They used to have a guy with his face painted on a horse, and he'd ride around, and people said, "Yeah, no,
sure,
let's not do that." So now they have a wolf. But
this guy looks super cool. This is honestly, this guy spent. I'm looking at him right now. He spent way too much money on this costume. Well, this is like a very authentic wolf costume.
You ever see these super fans, and you wonder where do they get the money for all this?
Yes, because clearly their lives are different than everybody
Babudar, Chiefsaholic,
Raiders guy,
was linked to 6 robberies, 2 attempted robberies during a 9-month stretch, 2022, March 2022 to December 2022.
Oh, man.
So he gets arrested, and he's alleged to have stolen more than $800,000. So the DOJ says he was out on bond in Oklahoma for the Super Bowl. And then he won $100,000 on the Super Bowl because Mahomes was the MVP and the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So then after that, he's like, well, see you later. And he took off his ankle monitor and he left the state.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he was on the run for more than 3 months before where he was captured July 7th.
In
Lincoln,
California.
Yes.
Yeah, very close to here, which is like how did one stumble upon Lincoln as
I don't know
place of escape? That's I feel like we skipped past a very crucial detail there. So he paid bail with winnings that he got from a bet.
Let's see. Well, once he won all the money in the bet, he just skipped bail.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah. I think he was arrested. I think he was out on bail already.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but then and then he won all this money. He was out on bond in Oklahoma.
Gotcha.
And then the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. He's like, man, I got a lot of money. The days after receiving $100,000, cut his ankle monitor, fled the state. So for 3 months, he was he's scrambling.
That's got to be tough because you would assume like while you're on the run, you probably should look for a disguise, and what better disguise than a wolf costume? But he's probably more known in the wolf costume than what he would be like if he just. Also, how is anyone robbing banks in the year 2023? How does one
that's why this has got to be the next sports movie, right?
What is going on? Yeah, like how does this happen? Absolutely. Oh my God, that's such a great call.
This is the United States of America, and at least in theory, you're innocent unless you're proven guilty.
Sure.
And here's what his defense attorney says. The government's announcement today on its 19-count indictment provides an unfair and unjust portrayal of Xavier. The truth is that since 2018, Chiefsaholic has entertained, inspired, unified,
he did not call his client
and
Chiefs.
motivated Kansas Cityans, the Chiefs Kingdom, and hundreds of millions of football fans around the globe. It's now the fourth quarter of the most important game of Xavier's life, and his legal team believes his innocence will ultimately be proven to the public. We are confident that once all the facts are known, that he will be redeemed in the eyes of his supporters, admirers, and the Chiefs Kingdom. End quote.
Wow.
Then why did he cut off his ankle monitor? If he's innocent.
That's the fact that he's using his Chiefs fandom as a reason.
He inspired football fans around the globe.
We can't arrest him right now. The season literally starts in 3 weeks. Come on. At least wait until the bye.
Fan's gonna fan and lawyer's gonna lawyer.
I guess. I freaking
How he ended up in
so.
Lincoln. That's the one thing
that's
my
the
brother and his wife, they live in Lincoln. We had dinner with him. And I was telling him, this guy was found in Lincoln, and she thought we were talking about the guy that escaped Roseville Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, they found him in Roseville. No, they found this guy in Lincoln. They live in Lincoln. They had no idea.
Chiefsaholic.
Yeah.
Which is just terrible.
I wondered why the guy in the Wolves costume was running around outside. Up next.
Great story.
One thing the NBA has already gotten right, absolutely right about the new schedule. Schedule release day rolls on here. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Will Brandon Ayuk emerge as a star in the Bay this season?
Not going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk.
Can Fred Warner lead the Niners defense to another deep playoff run?
And Fred Warner with the INT. Pick City, baby.
Will Brock Purdy hold on to his starting quarterback job?
Purdy going to drop back to pass, try to run forward and go to the end zone standing. Down and Purdy, baby.
Tune into Niners at 9 every day on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday, looking at sun and clouds and another hot day today. Not as hot as yesterday, but still plan for highs in the range of 100 to 105 with overnight lows in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Chanson, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPfest.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. Our restaurants are roasting hand-selected prime ribs of beef every week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all prime rib specials come with your choice of homemade soup or a fresh green salad. And as many have found out, we also pack these dinners to go. Order online at bennettsrestaurants.com. Having a meeting or large group dinner? Our newest restaurant in Rockland features 3 different event-sized spaces for large group gatherings. 80 guests, no problem. Bennett's Kitchen Bar and Market, Eureka and Lead Hill Roads in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento. And our brand new Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland, Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. Come let us put a smile on your face and enjoy our hospitality. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com and book a reservation today. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
It's time now for the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar and Home Services. Well, it was only one preseason game, but Sunday was very impressive for the Silver and Black. The talk of training camp so far has been the improved defense, and they sure did look good. With a couple of early possessions, 3 and outs of San Francisco's offense, multiple sacks, and a lot of quarterback pressure. Offensively, Aiden O'Connell looked sharp, 15 of 18 for 141, and maybe locking down that backup quarterback position. Next up for the Silver and Black, the LA Rams on Saturday. Summer is so great for many things, but it's also a great time to get your home evaluated for solar. And while you're at it, make sure that roof on your house, it's in good shape. ACR Solar and Home Services would love to meet you and show you the kind of quality you can expect from ACR. I went to ACR Solar and I could not be happier with the work that they did on our roof. So go to acrsolar.com and start your savings today. ACR Solar and Home Services, quality, value, and integrity since 1979.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlotta with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Today is NBA schedule release day. The NBA released the in-season tournament schedule earlier this week, and now we will get the full schedule, which will be released on NBA Today at 12 p.m. Vlatko Adamowski has resigned as the head coach of the U.S. women's team. This comes after the U.S. women had their worst showing in the World Cup, losing in the round of 16 to Sweden, and Arnowski finishing with a 3-2-5 record in major tournaments. Assistant coach Twyla Kilgore has been appointed as the interim coach for the women's friendlies against South Africa, which is scheduled for September. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Interesting question here in the chat from Scooney. Thank you, Scooney. Everything's fine, Scooney. Scooney asking, this hardened to the Kings trade as a joke, right? It might as well be. You remember the outfit that said that Sabonis was the most overrated player in the NBA?
Yeah.
Remember where that was posted?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
the report.
Yeah. It was, who had that? Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report.
Bleacher
yes.
Report. Yeah. This is also, I believe, a Bleacher Report dang deal. And it's just what it is. It's somebody, Doric Sam, a Bleacher Report, just saying, hey, they should do this. That's all it is. It's not a rumor.
Yeah.
It's not a report that the teams have talked. It's one of these Bleacher Report
top
people
10
saying
moves for James
Why don't
Harden.
they do? This is what I would do. So that's what it is. I'm not even. It's Kings trade Herder, Monk, Davion, Trey Lyles, and draft picks to the Sixers.
Whoa.
So again, it's not a report. It's not a. It's just hey, why don't they do this? That's all it is, Scooney. So essentially, yes, it is a joke.
Absolutely, it's a complete joke from a complete joke of a publication, because Bleacher Report, as we've established, just puts out garbage at this time of year. I mean, they're just trying to keep the clicks going, and That's all that is. That's all the Sabonis overrated thing. That's ridiculous. And that Harden trade is ridiculous for so many different reasons.
I would bet you that Harden wouldn't even want to come here.
No, absolutely. There's nothing for him.
He's very particular about where he plays.
Yeah, he is. He definitely likes to be in the spotlight, and he likes a certain after life, after party, situation to go on. And I just don't think Sacramento's that kind of town. Sacramento's a place where if you have a family, if you like to slow things down, if you like options of where you can go up to wine taste on a weekend, or just lay low in town, go to LA, maybe whatever you want to do. Sacramento's a good place for you. James Harden, I don't think this place has anything to offer him.
I was surprised today. The Athletic had their next level of the tiers. These are like the star players. And they have Harden in that next tier still, and I don't think he belongs there.
I don't either. I mean, he's still a fine player for sure, and
I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's like, I don't have a clear idea right now how much he really helps you.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on his usage percentage. If I can go just a little deep, I think if he's somebody who has the ball in his hands as much as what he traditionally has. Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily valuable in that sense, because I think he's taking away from others on the team. But if he wants to actually play like 90% of the rest of the NBA, the non-stars, he's absolutely still productive. He's a high-level player. He can still score. He can still shoot. He really struggles to get to the rim like he used to, but he's still got some value.
He'll draw fouls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He'll draw it with the best of them. It's just how you want to utilize him and how he wants to be utilized. I think the problem is, and I think we're still seeing it play out right now, James still thinks he's a star. And I just don't think that's the case. And, I think whatever team he's going to is going to be a team that treats him as such, whether it be the Clippers or, anywhere else. I just think that he wants to go somewhere where he's going to be viewed as a marquee player. And, he's always going to be a big name, but he wants to have a big say on what happens on the floor.
I would like to know, when he says Daryl Morey is a liar, is he saying that because something was promised to him, like, wink, wink, you do this, we'll take care of you, and that didn't happen? Or is he saying Morey's a liar because Morey said, yeah, we'll try to trade you, and they didn't trade him? Because that's not
right.
You can make a trade request, but it doesn't mean the team has to do it, James.
Right, exactly. So, if I had to guess, it's a combination of both. I would imagine that it is the fact that he was promised in a wink deal. Yeah, we'll give you more money at the end of this thing. You just have to, play for less now. We'll use that money to sign guys like PJ Tucker and and then we'll take care of you on the back end. And if not, I think exactly what you're saying. I think you're
not allowed to do that, by the way.
Yeah, you're also not. That's very illegal in terms of NBA terms. And I would guess that he also went to Daryl and said, okay, if we can't work something out here, then let me go. And Daryl has, and in Daryl's defense, he should have known. He should have literally pointed at the Ben Simmons situation and said, you can request a trade, but I am not just going to trade you for the sake of trading you. I'm going to hold on until I get somebody of your caliber, of your value in return, like he did with Ben.
We won't know exactly what to make of the schedule when it is officially released, because, well, you never know for sure. You never know what's going to happen, but we don't know where Dame's going to be for sure. We don't know where Harden's going to be. But one thing that I think we can look at now and say, wow, good job, NBA, is this. We know the Kings open with a game on the 25th of October. They got a game that's at Utah, of course. 27th, they're home to the Warriors. 29th, they're home to the Lakers. And then the tournament starts right after that. And I think that's smart with this tournament. Early in the year, you've got your opening nights, and that's exciting.
Right.
For a lot of more casual fans, especially, you have the excitement of opening night first weekend, and then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So having that tournament then and having it just like you play 3 games, which are almost like your pre-tournament games, and then go into the tournament, I think that's really smart.
Yeah.
Now, the tournament may end up being a big 0. Who knows? But I think that's really a great, really smart time to place that thing in your November games.
Yeah, that's a great point, because it does kind of keep that energy going. Like you're saying, like, opening night and the opening games, there's always going to be a level. Okay, basketball's back.
Right.
Like, it's like the preseason right now. Like, I've watched 4 preseason football games. Why? not because they're good games, but because it's something. And I'm excited that it's just back in our lives. And I think basketball's got a similar thing. Yeah, you can write off the wave of 2 or 3 games, but then after that, you kind of lose a lot of the casual fans who are like, okay, I'm more locked into football, and maybe once football is done or after Christmas, I'll start paying attention to basketball. But this really keeps the excitement going. Hopefully for basketball's hoping. The
you
NBA's
understand the
hoping.
plan.
Yeah.
Because just, again, take the Kings. Opening night, wow. Then Warriors, wow. Home opener. Lakers, whoa. And then I believe Oklahoma City would be the next game, right?
Yeah, November 3rd, right?
And then it's like, wow, that's a tournament. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of a drop-off. Yeah, but that's the first tournament game.
Yeah. It's a new
And you
thing.
also got Minnesota coming up
How
there.
will this be different?
Yeah. So I understand what they're trying to do. Again, whether people will care or not, I don't know. But it makes sense what they're trying to do to me.
And then it'll to continue your point, like that once the tournament's done, well, then it rides right into those exciting Christmas games. That is usually, like I'm saying, like usually the point in the season when fans really start to tune into the NBA, and you're a couple months
consider
in.
that opening day for
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that it's again meant to just keep the momentum flowing through the NBA season. And then, by February, 2 months after Christmas, it's All-Star break. And you just, it's just trying to keep the flow of excitement and keep the game energy as high as possible for as long as possible. And it makes a whole lot of sense. It's just, is it going to work? That's still the question at hand. Is, they did their part. They did the best they could to try and make the schedule flow into each other, but will it actually, when the rubber meets the road, will it go?
It's going to work?
We'll see.
I see the way
they're setting it up for success. Yeah.
I see what you're doing there.
I mean, and it makes sense that the NBA, who, like we've mentioned, they're really trying to push this thing and really trying to make it a thing that's going to work. They definitely set it up for success about as well as they can. Just like we're saying, just leading the hype into it. Like it's if it's going to fail, it's because people more expensive. Don't care. That's an interesting point.
Can they?
Well, watch what happens when come that last tournament game when the Kings are playing the Warriors and winner gets to advance to the next round.
I mean, that's going to be expensive anyway, the Warriors.
Exactly. But, you can – but it wouldn't have to be the – it just so happens it's the Warriors.
I don't think it would be.
Even if that's OKC, I think your mistake. I think especially, at least here in Sacramento, if that last in-season tournament game – qualifier, group stage, whatever you want to call it,
there will be more demand for that.
Absolutely. If that game has importance, if that game has heightened importance, like win and get in, 100%, I think that the energy from the fans at least would be something different. And I think that the ticket prices would maybe not significantly, you're probably not going to see playoff prices, but I think you would be like, whoa, why is this Tuesday game against Oklahoma City $200 to get in the door? I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can definitely see it, especially here. I'm telling you, Kings fans, they're different, man.
There's so much uncertainty too, because you won't know if it's a big tournament game or not, depending on what this team does that night.
Right. You won't know. Well, yeah, that's right. Leading into the game. Yeah, like if that one game after everything plays out has importance, that's the only way.
New schedule release coming up top of the hour.
Getting close.
High noon. Coming up next, you got to hear this. Tua Tagovailoa testing the media on their ability to understand a play call in the huddle. Very interesting. Next, Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room, Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. Chryslers make this the summer sales event going on right now. But Chad, why drive all the way to Hoblet?
Because if you go somewhere else, you're paying too much. No one beats Hoblet when it comes to price and service. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie, Limited, and Longhorns. That means you can get a brand new truck starting at only $28,995.
Wow, you really are going all out.
And we're not done yet. You can also save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 Longhorns. No one in California has a savings this good on a selection this big. That's why we are consistently California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
Stop by the Hoblet Ram Truck Center for a test drive today or see their entire inventory online at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
14,000 total net savings after 9,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP average of $8,000 plus $1,000 case construction cash. Must purchase qualifying case equipment after January 1st, 2021. $28,995 net price on 2023 Ram 1500 regular cab after 3,400 factory rebates. Sample VIN 550880. 6,500 total net savings on Ram 2500 Longhorn after 6,500 dealer discount. 5 net savings. See dealer for details.
For nearly 20 years since Barley Kavanaugh Golf Course opened near the banks of the Sacramento River, it's been Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf course architects designed the course to be an easy walk, but motorized carts are available as well. You and your friends of all abilities will find Barley Kavanaugh featuring a brand new tap room is a great place to play golf. After your round, relax on the outdoor veranda overlooking the course with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit barleycavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Don't wait, the giant summer sale ends soon at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We make buying a new Honda easy and stress-free. Pre-order online or in person today. We'll be there to help you every step of the way. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At your desk, on your phone, in the car.
Whitey and Watkins.
On Sactown Sports.
Another great suggestion for name of a former King that you could name your kid after.
Yeah.
The Dodger fan naming his daughter after Mookie, at least the middle name. Mojo 916 is Bonzi. Bonzi Wells.
Great. Bonzi's so good. Bonzi almost sounds like it should be a animal's name, but yeah, I would. Middle name wouldn't hurt either. Is Bonzi even his real name? I don't know. That's a fantastic.
Bonzi
suggestion.
used to be on with us every week years ago on this station. And just think, I think this was before, the internet took off. Think how big this would have been. The Kings were going to be in the playoffs that year. I think they played the Spurs. But we're getting ready for Bonzi. He's on the air and he doesn't know it. Doesn't know we can hear him. And he's talking to somebody and he says, "Oh yeah, we want the Suns. We want to play the Suns." Hey, Bonzi? Yeah, guys. Can you imagine? And then no one noticed. No one cared.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Yes,
exactly. That would have been picked up instantly.
Yeah.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Go check out right now. De'Aaron Fox calls out the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes.
You can hear it right here first, exclusively on Sacktown Sports 1140. Yeah, it would have been a wrap. Oh my! Did he even he never realized it or anything?
I think we might have alluded to it at the end of the call.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, oh."
The other thing with Bonzi is when the Kings offered him whatever they offered him, and he turned it down.
Yeah,
thinking he'd get more, and he ended up taking much less.
Yeah, and his career.
Did he go to Houston? I remember they're playing the team that he went to, and the ball goes out of bounds, and there's a quiet moment, and someone said, "Hey, Bonzi, $36 million." And I was like,
"Oh, that's." That's unfortunate. He had
So
one
sad.
crazy playoff series that year, though. I mean, that year for the Kings,
He's a good player.
He was ridiculous. I was just looking at his numbers the other day, as a matter of fact. You pull them up right now. Wow. Yeah, in just that one series, Bonzi was 23 and 12. 23 points, 12 rebounds per game on 60% shooting. That is ridiculous for that series. I mean, and that was the last playoff series we ever had. So unfortunate.
Yeah, so it was the Spurs. Huh?
It was the Spurs series.
Mark Rodriguez is Bonzi Buddy for a name. Bonzi Watkins.
Buddy Watkins. Buddy Bonzi. How about Buddy Bonzi?
Buddy Bonzi Watkins.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Yep. My firstborn. Sign it up right now.
When you played football, did you ever have to call a play in the huddle?
No, I didn't. No, that would be a nightmare. Actually, that's like the one part that I never actually considered. They talk about Brock Purdy having great command of the huddle all the time, and just like he can really he says the plays so clearly, loudly, and he just has a control of that huddle like nobody else. That's really nothing I ever considered, but I don't think I would have been good at it.
Tua was talking to the media yesterday in Miami.
Did he get mad at them as well?
No, not really.
Okay.
I thought he had a fun time with them.
Okay.
Dolphins had more pre-snap penalties than any other AFC team last season, and some have suggested it's the length of Mike McDaniel's play calls. Because by the time you spit it all out, it's like, there's no time left. So yesterday, Tua Tagovailoa talking with the media, and he says, spitting out the play calls in the huddle, he says it can be a little tough. And so he challenged, he said, okay, I'm going to give you a play call, and then you see if you guys can remember it. Here's Tua yesterday speaking with the media. Tua, this is the play call he had for the media.
I can give you guys a play, and then if you guys want to repeat it after me, as if you guys were in the huddle, you guys can. All right. Should I go once or twice saying it? Once? All right. We got North Right Clamp, South Fox, H-Top, Pass 38, Top Gumby, XP Sweat. Let's go. Anyone? Yeah, sounds like a pre-snap penalty to me. Oh, my gosh.
That's a hilarious response from that reporter, actually. There's no way. Did you get any of that?
No.
Northwest.
Pre-snap. No, snap.
Clamp.
Right. Clamp. Can we hear it one more time, Mr. Mauser, please? Yeah.
I can give you guys a play, and then if you guys want to repeat it after me, as if you guys were in the huddle, you guys can. All right. Should I go once or twice saying it? Once? All right. We got North Right Clamp, South Fox, H-Top, Pass 38, Top Gumby, XP Sweat. Let's go. Anyone?
Okay, I think I got it. I had to write it down, but I think I got it.
Yeah, sounds like a pre-snap penalty to me. Oh, my gosh.
I believe he said
Watkins, what's the play?
North Right Clamp, South Fox, something
You said
Sweat.
you had it.
I know, but then like as the ending escaped my mind. It's GXP. That's all I wrote. GXP Sweat.
You're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, I guess not, man. I guess not. I guess I could. Well, we watched in the quarterback show on Netflix, Kirk Cousins, he does this thing where he'll say the play calls into his phone and like record it on voice memos. And then like on the ride home, he just listens to the voice memos so that like it's subconsciously in his head, which is probably like a good, in general, probably like a really good study tactic. If for anybody out there who just struggles with, I don't know if it would be like you have a geography test or something, but yeah, like that's definitely what I would have to do is just listen to it over and over and over again.
You know the dumbest thing about that soundbite? I think it's great. Tua says, okay, guys, look, I'm going to give you a play call.
Yep.
See if you can repeat it. Do you want me to do it once or twice? And some bozo said,
once. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, like, bro, like this is like, you're not actually like, no one's going to be impressed with, oh yeah, you got like what? Yeah, no, hear it twice. Why would you, why are you trying to challenge yourself? Like you're an actual NFL quarterback. Like this is not an actual test, my guy. Like
now, isn't it in the huddle? if you're in there, there's a certain part of that you listen to, right?
Yes.
Because it depends on you got where.
So it's like
the blocking
north
schemes.
right could be exactly blocking scheme.
You've got
if
routes.
We don't know if that's a run or a pass.
Yeah.
It could be. If that's a pass, then
so there's only only one part of this has to do with me.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. And then
north, right, south. Okay. Good.
And then one of those is probably the count, like the snap count.
Yeah.
Don't know which one that is, but I mean, that's the interesting thing about football is you're always every position group
more
is
than I used to know.
I'm all right on two. I definitely, after last season and all the head injuries, I'm definitely rooting for him to just have a career at this point. So yeah, I guess I'm rooting for him.
Happy new NBA schedule day in 3, 2, 1. It's coming up here. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
I don't see any. I forgot that we're still live.
That's right.
Oi. Can't wait for this schedule release. Do we have the right channel? I don't even think we have the right channels on.
I don't think so.
Unless they're going to cut off this Little League World Series for NBA TV or whatever it is. What are the NBA Today? My goodness. I wonder if things have started to leak yet. We have I've not been. I mean, we obviously know so much already about the schedule. I mean, at this point, Whitey, is there anything at this point that you're like, I don't know what's like you're looking forward to at least today?
Yeah, just the road trips, homestands, things like that. But I think, they do a good job of releasing all of the major stuff, Christmas Day games and all of that. But I'd just like to see, one of the longer road trips. Yeah, the way the NBA schedule goes, a lot of times, teams make similar road trips at similar times of the year every season.
Right. Like the Warriors will be right behind the Kings in their road trip. Really random. The Kings are not verified on X. It's kind of hard to
I don't blame them. They don't want to pay.
That's exactly what it is. Let's see.
I asked Jerry what he used to look for first things on the schedule, and it was kind of like, well, because I think, if you're a coach, like we got 82 games, 41 home, 41 away, whatever. But he said when he was coaching, the teams weren't that great. Right. Coach, he said, I would look at the beginning of the year and I'd hope that somehow we'd have a chance.
When's your first win
to get off to a decent start?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's nice to not actually have to worry about that. Obviously, it would be a major benefit, but absolutely. There would be times in Kings past where it would be, okay, where's the first win of the season?
Yeah.
Are we going to go 0-6 or is there maybe a chance we can be like 3-3?
Do we don't have NBA TV?
No, it's supposed to be on ESPN. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on NBA Today. Let me
Oh, I see. You are correct. I had heard NBA TV, but you're right. NBA.com points out regular season schedule unveiled today. ESPN.
See, we had the wrong channel, though. We were about to just roll right into this Little League World Series. Oh, okay. Now we have both TVs on.
All right. Thing. One for you, one for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
How about you? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the long road trips for sure. That's usually when teams it's when teams first come together. The first really long road trip of the season is usually a good bonding point for all the new players and kind of really getting to know like your teammates off the floor as well, and which is obviously really key for if you want to have long-term success. So first road trip, how long is that road trip? What are the teams on the long road trip as well? Obviously, just in general, when you're on those 6 to 8 game road trips, it's already going to be tough regardless of the competition. And if you have to throw on a couple games of, Philadelphia and New York, which is usually when the Kings go on their longer road trips, it usually is that East Coast, just kind of knocking out all of those coastal Eastern Conference teams, which, next year those are going to be some of the better teams in the NBA for sure. Like the Knicks and, Brooklyn still got some talent over there. That's usually the first thing I look forward to. And then back-to-backs as well. I think Dave tweeted out this morning, Kings are going to have 14 back-to-backs this season. Last year they had 15. So finding out the teams that are on that back end of the back-to-back.
Ignorant question. How did they do last year in back-to-backs?
8-7. They were 8-7 last year on back-to-back. So technically a winning record, but you might want to improve on that just a little. But I think all you can ask for back-to-backs is just that you have a winning record, because that's something that
I don't remember a previous year where so much of the schedule had already been released before the actual schedule.
Like, I feel like we know 10 to 15 games already for the Kings, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty much like almost a quarter of the schedule.
Some of it was local leakage about all the TV games that came out yesterday.
Yeah, Carmichael Dave. It's just like, dude, like you're ruining this television program, dude. Come on.
But some of it was just the NBA.
Yeah,
here's the Christmas Day
absolutely.
Games. Here's the opening
well,
day
now
games.
With the in-season tournament,
games.
that's four games that we learned from every single team. So,
right.
That's kind of knocking out a portion of it as well. I imagine the schedule is going to be released before, like it's not just going to be on television. They're not going to, show some massive graphic of all the team schedules. So I assume the Kings will be the one to put it out. And once that's put out, we'll be right on it immediately.
It's a special day. Happy brand new NBA schedule day. Chris Watkins, Kevin Michael, Whitey Gleason, Sactown Sports. Always a special day, but especially this year for Kings fans whose team finally made the playoffs last year. So we've got genuine reasons to be thrilled about this upcoming season.
Cannot wait.
Team has business to take care of.
Yeah.
So
unfinished business.
Yes, we have a lot of the details already. It all becomes official here.
Couple seconds. I mean, it's technically noon. It is technically noon right now. So let's see if any of the schedules are out. I mean, I don't see anything on the Kings Twitter yet, but something else I'm really intrigued to find out. The Kings last year, obviously, for those who remember, played the Warriors like 4 times in the first month of the season. Definitely hoping. I mean, I wouldn't mind that actually this year with how slow of a start I think the Warriors are going to get off to. But just in general, you don't want to play the Warriors in that many times in a conconcentrated span.
I guess
it's
you
like
just
3
never know
times.
that team. To me, there's a lot of potential variance with that club.
Absolutely. Which is, I mean, to be fair, I would probably welcome playing them 2 or 3 times at the start of the year this year, just because, that's probably when they're going to be at their worst, because they're just going to still be trying to figure that thing out. But still no official word yet on any schedule. So it's 12:01, and I was told that schedule is supposed to be out at 12.
Give them their due and all, because they did beat the Kings, but the Kings should have won that series.
Absolutely. I mean, they had that series for the taking, and if they weren't so inexperienced, and if the Warriors didn't have the level of experience that they had, I definitely think, against most of the teams in the NBA, the Kings probably take that series with how they played. Though, I would also say that the Kings definitely left some things out on the floor. I mean, they did not perform to their best ability in that playoff series, and that's kind of the unfinished business that they need to address this year, is leaving no doubt that you guys are legitimate playoff contenders, and a team that maybe in the future will be somebody who contends for championships.
If you go to NBA.com right now, the schedule is there.
Okay.
I'm looking at October 2023.
Okay.
The 27th, for example. They've got all the games listed there.
Okay.
So I believe the schedule is, and we know that that's the night, 10 o'clock. Yeah, the Warriors take on the Kings. So you have to piece it together bit by bit here.
Maybe we can go to kings.com.
The schedule per se is in its entirety, from what I can see so far anyway.
It is also out on kings.com.
Okay.
So the entire schedule is out on kings.com right now if you want to head on over there. And you know what, Whitey? Right as I say it, the Sacramento Kings play the Golden State Warriors twice in the first 4 games. They play them immediately after that. 4th game of the year will be against the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco.
Chase Center.
In Chase Center. And then they'll have a back-to-back. Here we go. So this is remember what I just said about looking for those stretches of games where you might be playing some poor teams right after. So they start the season Utah, Golden State, LA Lakers, and then at Golden State. But then they have 2 straight games against the Houston Rockets in Houston, and then come
Saturday,
home
Monday,
to play
yeah.
the Portland Trailblazers on November 8th. So that's a nice little easy stretch, and then play OKC immediately after that. I believe that's the in-season
tournament.
tournament.
That is indeed the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
Lower level, $67. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And here is a 6-game homestand early in the season in mid-November, November 15th through November 24th. So on the 15th, which is a Wednesday, they play the Lakers. On Friday, they
got to back up. I think you missed a game on the 13th.
The 13th, no, that's a home game against Cleveland.
Yes.
I was saying a road trip. They got a big road trip here. First long road trip of the season, 6 games. Will be Lakers on the 15th, San Antonio on the 17th, Dallas on the 19th. 2 games against New Orleans, one on the 20th, one on the 22nd.
Those are going to be big games. New Orleans is really good this year.
And then Friday, they will play the Minnesota Timberwolves on November 24th to round out a 6-game road trip and then head back home for guess who?
Tournament time.
Golden State for the final in-season tournament game. So, very interesting. And the first time Denver, the defending champs, Denver Nuggets, come to town will be December 2nd, which will be on a Saturday, and that will be on NBA TV. So, again, Jokic, get to see Jokic in club on a weekend. That'll be a good one. Always a fun matchup to see Jokic and Sabonis line up against each other.
Then you got a little break after that game.
Yeah, a little bit. You got what is that for? I guess that's for the tournament, if I had to guess. Like the playoffs.
Yes, the 7th and the 9th are in there.
Yes.
So the schedule has the Kings playing Denver on December 2nd. Then the next thing on the schedule, regularly scheduled, is Monday, December 11th.
Yes.
Against Brooklyn.
Yes. So there will be, if the Kings, so I assume then if the Kings don't make it past the group stage of that tournament, they'll have pretty much a week off, a week and some change off, which is not something that is typical. And I wonder if that's another wrinkle to this in-season tournament that no one's really thought of is, it's kind of like a mini all-star break. If you don't make the elimination round, like that can be really beneficial to some teams who really feel like, it's been obviously a major talking point of load management. Giving teams a whole week off is really, really big. That's not something that's ever been the case before. Usually,
especially
your
if
only break is the all-star.
Pardon me. I'm sorry, Chris. An older
fine.
team that maybe we don't care about the tournament.
Golden State.
We don't want to. Yeah. Well, let's not win those games, and then we get some time off.
Exactly. It sounds a lot better to just take those times off. The Kings will have a lot of home games in December. I'm looking at a long homestand here where they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of 9 games at home from December 2nd all the way through the 23rd, with only one road game coming in LA. So it's pretty much a really quick trip. It is on the second night of a back-to-back.
And some good teams in there.
Yeah, some really good teams in there. Thankfully, they're playing them all at home. But
Boston on the 20th, Suns on the 22nd.
Not great. Yeah. Let's see if there's any really brutal stretches that are sticking out here. This isn't great. Mid-January here, all road games. This is in the middle of a 5-game road trip in January. Friday, January 12th, they play the 76ers. Then on Sunday, they play the Milwaukee Bucks. And then on Tuesday, play the Phoenix Suns. So possibly 3 of the best teams in the NBA. The Kings play 3 straight games from Friday to Tuesday, all on the road. So that'll be another interesting test. I see a 7-game road trip here in late January. That will include Golden State, Dallas, Memphis, Miami, Indiana, Chicago, and then wrap up in Cleveland on February 5th.
Then so on the 7th, they're back home on the 7th of February. They have a bye. They play the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, they could take that game off. But if you're a fan, that's a game to go to, because let me tell you, last year, the Kings Pistons, the craziest non-playoff environment of the season. I don't know if it's going to be that way next year, but fans showed out to boo number 35. Marvin Bagley that day, it was bullying what happened in Golden One Center that day. It was something.
Look at this stretch, Chris, and I know you have it in front of you. Friday, February 9th through Wednesday, Valentine's Day, you got Friday, February 9th, home to Denver. Sunday, the 11th, at OKC. Tuesday, the 13th, at Phoenix. And then Wednesday, the 14th, happy Valentine's Day in Denver.
Happy All-Star break.
Defending champion Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, right before the All-Star break, too. That's just that's not ideal either, because that's right before the All-Star break, and that's kind of, your emotions going into the break play a big role in just how you feel about the outlook of the season. And if you're playing, OKC could be a really, really tough team next year. If you're playing 4 just tough games back to back to back to back, that's not a joyous way to enter the All-Star game, unless that's also could be a good opportunity to have some real. If the Kings go into the All-Star break beating Phoenix and Denver, that on a back-to-back as well, that's brutal. Got to go from Phoenix to Denver on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's brutal.
We're just getting our first peek here at the entire new Kings NBA schedule. By the way, great coverage of the schedule, everything in there. Sactownsports.com.
Yeah.
Frankie doing a fine job
sure
there.
He's killing it right
and
now.
We're late February here. They come back. We knew about this one. You come back from the break, home February 22nd against Wembanyama, presumably, and the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, excited for that one. Obviously, Wemby's first game potentially in Sacramento. Who knows by February how health is.
Assuming they're, who knows how good they'll be. But the Spurs could be decent. Then you got the Spurs, and then Sunday the 25th at LA Clippers. Then you come home, you got Miami. Then you go back to Denver. It looks like every 3 games you're playing Denver. I know that's not right, but that's what it looks like.
It's not great. That is
the Warriors or Denver.
Not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it's part of being in the West, man. Like, there's really no time off in the West at all. And I'm looking at the last month of the season. If the Kings are in a tight playoff race, maybe they're jockeying for standings positions. The last month of the season, this is how they end April. They have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, I believe 10 games here, 9 or 10 games in the month of April to end out the season. LA Clippers, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, Brooklyn Nets, Oklahoma City, and then, as we mentioned before, ending the season with 3 straight home games against New Orleans, Phoenix, and then Portland. It's not horrible, but that's definitely not an easy stretch of games if you're trying to, end the season on a nice winning streak. You're definitely going to have to earn it there. Though I will say, playing Phoenix the second to last game of the season, if they're all locked up, that could definitely be an opportunity for them to maybe sneak a game in where Phoenix is resting their guys.
March stands out to me. The teams you play. Okay, March 1st, you're at Minnesota. Home on the 4th, the Bulls. Then Wednesday the 6th at Lakers. The Spurs again come in March 7th. The Rockets on March 10th. Then you got the Bucks making their annual visit on the 12th. The Lakers March 13th. So that's a back-to-back home, March 12th and 13th. The Bucks and the Lakers.
That is tough.
The 16th is Saturday. The Knicks come in. Then Monday the 18th, the Grizzlies come in.
Jeez.
Then you go to Toronto,
Goodness.
Washington, Orlando. Then you're back home for the Sixers, back-to-back against the Mavs, and then the Jazz. And that concludes March. March looms as a challenging month.
March is definitely going to be a tough one, but as we stated, or as we learned yesterday, a lot of home games in there. Only 5 road games in the month of March, which is definitely a positive. And I believe they're ending that month on 5 straight home games, and then rounding it out with a 6-game homestand in the beginning of April against the Clippers. But yeah, March is that's a key month in general.
But playing some good clubs,
absolutely,
for the most part.
Yeah, and you're definitely going to want to take care of the home court at that point, but you're going to need it, because that's really in the stretch of the schedule where you kind of want to be peaking. It's All-Star break. The Kings perform. That schedule is not doing them many favors with that, but at least all of those games will, for the most part, be at home.
I'm just looking here, according to Kings.com, the most expensive tickets that I see for the whole year.
Yeah.
And I saw there's a couple of Warriors and Kings games, lower level, from $161.
You better hop on those now, people. Now.
Warriors October 27th, home opener from $168.
Ooh, okay.
So I think that's the most expensive right now.
Yeah.
Kings.com.
I would say that, especially with how I assume that ticket prices will soar really, really soon after the season starts. And if the Kings especially get off to a good start, I think $168 is going to be a bargain. So if you're planning to get go to any Kings games this year and you're not a season ticket holder, I would buy sooner rather than later, because those things are going to sell out quick.
Yeah, and you can also get some lower level seats for many of the games for $46.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely hop on that while you can. That's the great thing about Golden One Center too, is any seat in the lower bowl is just absolutely fantastic. And if you can get it for under $100, that's an absolute steal. So hop on those tickets quickly.
Yeah. So yay. Now the upcoming season feels real. Up next,
we can breathe.
Bold Kings predictions of the day, including how many games the Kings going to win this year, where they're going to finish, Watkins. That's coming up next. Right back with that. Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. His 49er game.
Trey Lance needed to do more with what he was given. He just looked frantic. He looked panicked. He didn't look in rhythm.
Want to know what to expect from the Beam team this season?
I don't honestly know who's going to have a better record, the Warriors or the Kings. That's interesting, because the Warriors did have a lot of injuries last year, but they're also old. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't you think they're going to have injuries again this year?
Got to get that MLB fix down the stretch? Looking for articles from your favorite hosts.
For all that and more, visit SactownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. Chryslers make this the summer sales event going on right now. But Chad, why drive all the way to Hoblet?
Because if you go somewhere else, you're paying too much. No one beats Hoblet when it comes to price and service. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie, Limited, and Longhorns. That means you can get a brand new truck starting at only $28,995.
Wow, you really are going all out.
We're not done yet. You can also save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 Longhorns. No one in California has a savings this good on a selection this big. That's why we are consistently California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
Stop by the Hoblet Ram Truck Center for a test drive today, or see their entire inventory online at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
14,000 total net savings after 9,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% off MSRP, average of $8,000 plus $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment after January 1st, 2021. $28,995 net price on 2023 Ram 1500 regular cab after 3,400 factory rebates. Sample VIN 550880. 6,500 total net savings on Ram 2500 Longhorn after 6,500 dealer discount. 5% savings. See dealer for details.
Well, we just got our first peek at the new NBA schedule. It's there.
It's
Kings.com, NBA.com, ESPN with the schedule release show. My first reaction here, Chris, just looking at it, going over the games. We knew the West was tough. It's really going to be tough this year.
Yeah.
A lot of uphill sledding.
That's the
that
problem
conference.
is like, there's no, like I said earlier, like I look for those stretches where it's like 8 straight games against just cupcake teams, but it doesn't exist, because when you're in the Western Conference and, you know, even teams towards the bottom like Utah or, you know, Oklahoma City, who's, you know, both of those teams are definitely rising up the standings, but you know, there's just no easy outs. Dallas was a team that wasn't in the playoffs last year, but you see them on your schedule and you definitely don't say, oh yeah, that should be an easy win. Even a team like Portland, like we don't know what Portland's going to look like. Are they going to have Damian Lillard? Is he going to be gone by then? Are they going to, you know, be pretty much just a young team that has no intentions of winning? It's really tough to be in the Western Conference and at the same time try and have an easy schedule. I mean, the easiest portion that I'm looking at here is like a late December, early January turn of the year. They go Portland, they go Atlanta, even then like Memphis, Charlotte, and then Orlando, and then Toronto. Who knows what Toronto is going to be? New Orleans, Detroit, Charlotte. Like, yeah, that's really the easiest stretch that I see. But even then, there's a couple games in there where you can get thrown off.
That's the only spot that jumped out at me, and you just mentioned it. Tuesday the 9th and Wednesday the 10th. It is a back-to-back.
It is a back-to-back
against Detroit and Charlotte.
Yep. And then what do you get after that?
Then Philly and Milwaukee and Phoenix and Indiana and Atlanta. But even teams like Orlando, I think we talked about this with the morning show.
Scrappy.
Yeah, and they got a ton of talent.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's really tough, and even teams like Detroit, like I mean, obviously we got our guy Marvin Bagley over there and James Wiseman, but Cade Cunningham will presumably be playing next year, and who knows how big of a leap he can take and how much better Monty Williams being with that team is going to make them. It doesn't appear like if you're looking for any easy stretch, at least on paper, as it stands right now, pre anyone going down with injury,
it's a balanced NBA.
It's a very tough schedule, and yeah, exactly. It's a product of a very, very balanced league.
Mm-hmm. Lot of parity. So here's my Kings Bowl prediction of the day.
Let's do it.
I've seen the schedule.
Okay.
You want to know how many games the Kings are going to win?
Yeah, I would love to know how many games the Kings are going to win.
Because I don't think people are going to be crazy about this.
I think we should just do the next hour of going through every single game and trying to predict what's going to happen. That sounds like great radio to me. Yeah, sounds great.
I'm on record as saying the Kings will be better than they were last year, but they won't win as many games.
Yes, that's why I'm so excited to hear what your total is.
Kings will win 46 and lose 36.
46 and 36.
They will be the 5th seed in the West.
Whoa, you're really going on record here.
They will be in a first-round matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay, who will be a 4 seed?
They'll be the 4.
Wow.
The Kings will win the series.
Wow. Okay.
That's my bold prediction.
Wow, that is so bold. That's
bold enough for you, sir?
I would say so. I would take any of those. I would take a 46 and 36 prediction. I would have taken a 5th seed prediction. I would have even taken they'll play OKC in the first round prediction. But you just decided to mush them all together, and now my
you
prediction.
Know what's going to happen? That's the reason we look at the schedule, right?
Yeah,
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
For sure, absolutely. I appreciate you. You're putting your neck out there, and you're giving specifics.
Me and James Harden, man, we like an afterlife. Chris earlier said something about Harden likes after game party.
Afterlife.
He said he likes afterlife, and who was it? Was it Russell or somebody or Dwayne?
That's a whole nother conversation.
That was.
That's yeah. That's thank you for not writing down what I say and like you do with Dave. I really, really appreciate.
I don't
that.
have to. The people in the chat do that.
I really appreciate that. Well, now I feel bad about my prediction. I can't lie to you, Whitey. Today was the first day where I was really like, I have to come up with a prediction, and it took me a while. But
you don't have to do one. There's no obligation.
I know, but I feel
that day's going to come at some point. Maybe
it's going to dry up. No, I think today was the day where the wheels are. It's a little shaky on the ride today. But you earlier in your prediction said Sasha Vezenkov will start 50. I believe 50 games.
You kind of scoffed at that.
I did, and I apologize because I'm coming around to it.
Whoa,
a little bit. And this isn't really directly attached to Sasha, but I think in many ways it definitely is.
Mr.
Vezenkov, as many people are calling him, or as some people call him, Alexander.
Yes.
That's an inside joke for everybody.
That'd be a good name. You want to name your kid after a king?
No,
Alec
absolutely
Sander.
Not. Absolutely not. Alex, absolutely not. Let's go with Harrison Barnes. Will start less than 41 games this season. Harrison Barnes, who has just been consummate professional here in Sacramento. I believe he has started every single game that he has played for the Sacramento Kings franchise. Let me double check on that.
He hasn't come off the bench since like 2016 with the Warriors, something
has
like
not.
that.
That is exactly correct. He has not come off the bench since 2016 with the Golden State Warriors. He has started every single game. How many games is that? Let's see here. Let's do a quick little basketball reference.
My friend says he's not good with numbers.
522. It is 522.
How about
consecutive? Not consecutive.
Well, yeah,
starts, but I guess games that he played in that he also started.
He started his last 522 games.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Harrison Barnes will start less than half of the Kings games this year. Is going to be my bold.
Can I ask why you say that? And I'm not.
No. I didn't just say this and was like, oh, this is something that I can write down. I think that it will be Sasha Vezenkov will have some form of a moment early in the season. And I just think the momentum's going to be there. And I think, frankly, when you think of especially how the Kings are starting to position their centers or their backup centers, it kind of doesn't seem like, we had really put in pen Trey Lyles backup center. I don't know if that's the case. It kind of seems like with all of Neemias Queta, Alex Len, Nerlens Noel, those guys are centers. Trey Lyles is not naturally a center. I think a lot of his minutes are going to come as they did last year at the backup 4. I think it just makes a lot more sense to have Keegan Murray as your starting 3, Sasha as your 4, Harrison and Lyles as the 2 backups for those guys. And I just think that Sasha is going to make that rise really, really quickly. I think he's going to fit in the offense like that. And I just think it's not necessarily going to be because Harrison takes a step back as a player. I just think his value to this team will be better served coming off the bench. And I think that's where he's going to end up being at some point throughout his new 3-year contract anyway. And I would suspect that it starts this season.
We're just getting our first look at the Kings schedule. Maybe you've seen it. Kings.com, ESPN.com, I believe may have it. I know that NBA.com has it. So they open with the Jazz. So you got the Jazz, Warriors, Lakers, and then the Warriors, a couple games against the Rockets and the Blazers, OKC. It's a tough schedule. Of course it is, because you've got so many teams in the West that are either trying to stay near the top or are building towards becoming legitimate contenders.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
who in the West right now do you say, they're no good? Houston,
but we don't they completely retooled. They brought in some vets, Fred VanVleet. Who knows what Dylan Brooks is going to look like?
You can say about the Spurs, but my understanding is they drafted a pretty good rookie.
Yeah, they drafted somebody in the first round. I don't know, but they'll be better than last year, I would presume.
Minnesota,
possibly, but they obviously have so much talent. At least Portland is really the one that's up in the air. I mean, if they trade Dame, it seems like they're really the only team that has clearly no intention of winning any games. So that's really the only team in the Western Conference that you can confidently put your stamp down and say they have no shot of really any success next year. I mean, San Antonio, you would suspect, is going to not just make some massive rise because Wemby's there.
They'll be better.
They'll be better, 100%. And there's also a team that, let's not forget, beat the Kings last year at the end of the season when they were trying to win basketball games.
Whoa.
So I'm just saying here. So there's that's just kind of
every win's going to be, just about every win this year is going to be, wow, that's a big win.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
For everybody.
Yeah. The whole league.
We need to see what Frankie thinks of this.
I think so.
Kings insider Frankie Cardicelli. He's doing.
We also got to know what he thinks of the Oklahoma City schedule, right? Where he's going to be. Coach Dagnall.
He's probably really busy with that right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably game planning.
Do you know? I'm going to pull a Dave. Do you know if he's in studio with us?
He is in.
Frankie's in studio with us next. As we continue to digest the brand new King schedule, opening schedule day. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday, looking at sun and clouds and another hot day today. Not as hot as yesterday, but still planned for highs in the range of 100 to 105 with overnight lows in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At Ashton and Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured, remember,
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit Revive.
For a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Golf to Go is brought by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
When you step on the first tee, you're there to have fun, but you also have a responsibility to the other members of your group. We can be quick to find fault with others not playing fast enough, talking on their cell phones, and more. But it's good to look in the mirror now and then. When your partner's on the tee, don't be looking in your bag for tees or a snack. Be quiet. Know your yardages and be ready with your club. Some players enjoy a friendly tip when they're playing badly. Others don't want to hear from you, even if you're Tiger Woods. Know how to read the room. If you like the flagstick out, tend it while someone is putting or put it back in the hole when everyone finishes. Watch the flight of your friend's shots. Finding lost balls quickly keeps the game moving. And if you're so far right that even the superintendent doesn't go there, give it up and hit another ball. And if you're not playing well, keep smiling. It's infectious and others will look to play with you again. Good karma and good golf go hand in hand. Have fun. It's a game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. The NBA schedule has been released, and the Kings will start their 23-24 season on the road against the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, October 25th. They'll come back home to host the Golden State Warriors for the Kings home opener on Friday, October 27th. That will be on ESPN. Speaking of ESPN, the Kings will also have 22 national television games this season. 11 will be on NBA TV, 6 on TNT, and 5 on ESPN. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Whitey and Watkins with our guest, Sacramento Kings cowboy, Frankie Cardicelli.
Frankie! You almost escaped him.
How are you, Frankie?
Felt like I was going to get away with that one.
I know. He almost forgot it.
On schedule release day, I thought he was just going to say Sacramento Kings beat writer. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. Finally, professional. I made it. And it's,
busy day for you. We appreciate your time as, we're like you trying to figure out exactly what this schedule means. By the way, Chris Watkins, great news for you.
What'd I do?
The Warriors are going to be on national TV 41 times.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Half their games.
That's great. You know who really deserves that? Yeah, a team that lost in the second round last year. Let's put them on TV more than anybody else. Even though this next year could be their worst, but does that matter?
Chris Paul, though. Chris Paul.
Right. Yeah.
They're on their way.
Yeah.
Frankie, one of the things that stood out to us is the West is so tough, and then you look at the start. The opening game at Utah, then you're home, but to the Warriors and Lakers. I mean, that's a tough way to start the season potentially.
I mean, that's the same thing we were saying about last year too. I mean, the Kings had a real tough stretch last year, and they lose 4 in a row. Everyone thought the sky was falling, and then they rattle off. They're arguably one. I mean, I'm looking at it here, and obviously, yeah, you have Utah on the road, and that could be a tough place to play. And then Golden State, Lakers, Golden State could be tough if everyone's playing. You have LeBron and Steph Curry. If everyone's healthy, sure, it's tough. But then you have Houston, Portland, Oklahoma City, who could be better this year. But, I mean, these are games, like I said off the air to you guys, basketball will be played. Someone will win, someone will lose. It's hard to know. But it's funny because last year we look at the opening schedule. I think we all kind of said, oh, the Kings are going to start 0-4, 0-5.
We did. We literally did.
And then they did.
And then they did.
But this isn't the way that we view this team last September, last August, and how we view them now is night and day different. This is a good team. And we've seen the Kings, they played the Golden State well. I mean, there's an argument that Golden State, I mean, we just said it, probably is not, I can't sit here and say they took a step forward this offseason. So Lakers are the one to me that are more intimidating. That's myself. As someone who Chris knows, I was very down on the Lakers the last 2 years. They did make
you were right one of those years.
Even the beginning of last year, they were a train wreck. And again, Rob Pelinka, give him credit. He turned the ship around and they made some good moves and they were going to be a threat. But there's some good things in here. There's some good things in here for sure.
The scary thing to me about the Lakers, we touched on this earlier last year, and you alluded to it. They started the year just in chaos. This year, they know what they're doing, and they presumably are healthier at the start of the year, and they have a lot of their pieces in place, and they know what they're doing. And so you figure they're probably going to start the season much better than they did last year.
You hope.
I think so.
You have to hope. Yeah. I mean, again,
I don't hope.
Well, I mean, if not, they have to hope. Not we don't. I don't care if they start 0-17. Doesn't matter to me. But
they're scary.
Looking at what they did and the moves that they made. And I did do some breakdowns. I did Pacific Division breakdowns, and there was some negative feedback. Why are we posing like the Lakers on our side? I did every Pacific Division team, the Kings today. But when you look at the moves that they made, I have to tip my cap to them. I mean, the AD extension is pretty crazy, though. He'll making $60 million for the last 3 years of his contract. But you keep D'Lo, you keep Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Turian Prince, who was a guy I wish the Kings could have taken a look at, and then Cam Reddish, who I don't know. I mean, the legend of Cam Reddish, the name is larger than the on-court production, but they made some good moves. Now, what's interesting to me here is, of course, the Kings and Warriors, they get those 3 of 4 on national TV, but the Kings and Lakers returning to national TV, 2 of the 4 games on national TV. So maybe they get that brewing again. I don't know, but it does seem like that the NBA took notice of the Kings and Warriors last year, first and foremost, and they are pushing that forward. They're pushing that NorCal rivalry, and they're making that a thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know the schedule literally just came out, and I don't know how much you've had a chance to look at it, but was there any stretches that you felt like are super positive for the Kings and or very negative for the Kings? Like, do you feel like there's any really, really tough stretch or really any easy stretch that the Kings should look to take advantage of?
You know, a couple things stuck out to me. And as far as stretches go, the whole month of March. I mean, you're playing, I think you guys already talked about it, but 11 of 16 at home. I think there was a stretch like that maybe in 2018-19 when they were playing good basketball, the scores, if you will. But when you're home that much, I mean, I was talking to a couple other guys on the beat, and they were saying we're just might as well camp out. We might as well just camp out at Golden One Center in March. But
let's do it.
Another thing I noticed, which was really tough last year, the back-to-backs, the Kings and back-to-backs this year, they don't have much traveling going on. I mean, they have a lot of home back-to-backs, and then for the back-to-backs they do have, the home and aways, they don't leave the state of California. They have a couple where they have to travel from either Los Angeles when they play the Clippers back home, or from home to play the Lakers or Clippers in LA. There's not any of those.
Yeah.
I think last year there was a Utah, you start in Utah, travel, play a game at home. Those are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just from what I've heard from around the team too, those are brutal back-to-back. So the fact that the Kings don't have those and they're more heavy on home back-to-backs, which I think the Kings and fans and anyone should feel better about.
Right.
That's big to me. To me, looking at last year's schedule and this year's schedule, I think last year, and again, it's a schedule. There's only so many things you can, your knee-jerk reactions are knee-jerk reaction. You never know what's going to happen when the ball gets thrown out there, but I think that people should be feeling a little more optimistic. I feel more optimistic about the schedule. I think the NBA did the Kings some favors versus last year they didn't. And the Kings also, last thing, end the year on a homestand. That's also pretty notable to me.
Frankie, I noticed here, and again, it just came out. I could have missed some here. I don't think I did. There's only 2 of those. Bob Fitzgerald calls them baseball series. You have a back-to-back with the Rockets at home. Actually, no, I beg your pardon. That's on the road. And then you have one later with Dallas, and that's it. I know the NBA after the pandemic, that's something that they'd talked about maybe doing more often to cut down on travel. And do we know where the NBA is with that? Because it looks like something that maybe they're not as hot on it as a league as they were a couple years ago.
This looks like lukewarm to me. It's in the middle. I mean, they do have some on the road. You have New Orleans, like you said.
New Orleans. Okay.
That's early in the season, but I mean, I think it's something that they did like, especially during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, safety, limit traveling. Things obviously now are in a better place. So yeah, we're seeing more of the travel is back on the books for these teams. But I think last year the Kings were either the leader in miles traveled. I don't know where that. I haven't looked that far into it. I would imagine they're not. I mean, just looking at the back-to-backs, the fact that there are no. We looked at Utah. I think they had a New Orleans back-to-back one time, which that's tough. Yeah. I mean, New Orleans is in the Western Conference, but that's not the West Coast. So that'll be interesting to see where things lie if some new teams come into the fold, but some conference realignment. But yeah, I think the traveling is definitely down for the Kings, at least this year. And that's a win in my book.
Do you like those back-to-backs?
The home?
Yeah, the home, or just in general, like when they play those baseball series.
Yeah, selfishly, I like it more when they're at home. It's fun to go to games back to back. But no, I do like it. I think
last year they had Denver. Yeah, I think they also had a Dallas. That was Luka and Kyrie's first games together.
They do Dallas, or sometimes they have like a gap day in the middle, which is weird. Not back to backs, but that was the Chimezi buzzer beater was on a.
It was. That was 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Phoenix Sun, Chimezi.
Exactly. Yeah, Phoenix Sun. Yeah. When's Mezzi coming back to town?
They play on TNT in April. That's all I've seen so far.
That.
But yeah,
Frank, you understand? It looks like let's see, the 13th. Now I want to see when they play Chimezi Matthew
for the first time.
Yeah,
it's like, is it the day before Christmas
Friday,
Eve?
December 22nd?
Yeah, Friday, December 22nd at home.
There you go.
Chimezi Matthew's return.
The return.
Are you sticking around for the Factor Fantasy?
I have no idea what this is.
You know what's at stake?
Do you know what that is?
What is that?
That's the crown of superiority that goes to the winner.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll stick around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to play, right? You're going to compete.
I guess. Yeah.
Wow. Frankie compete.
What is it? What is it? I don't know.
He's sandbagging us. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing. I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Come on.
Factor Fantasy Showdown next year. Whitey Watkins and Frankie, Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Fortinet Championship returns to Silverado Resort September 14th through the 17th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With wine experiences, rockin' shows, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Fortinet Championship, September 14th through the 17th. For tickets, go to FortinetChampionship.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know the average person walks 100,000 miles in their lifetime? It's true. That's a whole lot of stress, strain, and pressure ultimately put on 2 feet. Hi, DC Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store. As a spokesperson for Good Feet, I run into all sorts of surprising foot-related facts. Like, despite relatively few Americans being born with foot issues, over time, 75% of all adults will experience painful foot or foot-related problems. By supporting all 4 arches of the foot, the Good Feet 3-step arch support system can help return your foot and whole body to its proper alignment. Come to the Good Feet store for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk. Experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
Heading for a showdown.
About to make Factor Fantasy Showdown history here. Unbelievable. Chris Watkins is not treating the ground of superiority with the respect
Treating it like
deserves.
a basketball.
Yeah.
Spinning this thing on my fingers.
Same material.
Chris Watkins victorious yesterday.
Come on.
But today we have an X Factor.
Yeah.
So it's Chris, myself, Kevin Michael Whitey Gleason, and Frankie Cardicelli participating. All rise now. The judge for today entering the courtroom, the Honorable Christopher Law. Forgot his gavel.
Yeah.
Since Frankie's here, we had to do a change of venue. to make sure that this is fair. And he still thinks that I'm going to go against him, but
you're not going to let me win.
We'll see. I'm very fair.
He is very fair.
I'm very firm.
He's very pro Watkins, just so you know.
That was one time.
I am the Joe Buck of Factor Fantasy Showdown. Each of them thinks I'm going for the other person.
Right. Okay. Which usually means that you're pretty central. If everybody thinks that you're against them, then that means you're doing your job.
I like Joe Buck, by the way. It might be a hot take. But...
All right.
Okay. Well, that's...
You just called yourself Joe Buck.
-1.
Oh, my God.
Okay, up first. Hey, since we have someone new here, how about you go first, Frankie?
Oh, he needs to hear us how we do it, doesn't he? First? Well,
just throw me in.
We'll let you make the decision.
Go ahead. I'll go first. I don't care.
Okay. So do you get the ideas of what you do? I'm going to give a statement.
Make a case.
You're going to say it's fact or fantasy, and then you're going to explain why you made that.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question, De'Aaron Fox is the biggest reason the Kings have more national TV games this year. Fact or fantasy?
I'm going to say fantasy only because...
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I like that song. I'm going to say fantasy, not as a shot at De'Aaron, but of the fact that it's more than just De'Aaron. It's De'Aaron and Sabonis. It's Malik Monk got a lot of screen time and obviously played very well in the playoffs. Mike Brown has an effect, I think. He got a lot of national coverage last year. It's a lot more. The beam factors in as well. I think that a lot of other outlets really latched on to that aspect of the team. So I'm going to say no, it's not just De'Aaron himself.
All right, let's go to you, Chris.
Frankie, we've had a podcast for a couple years now. You're my guy. You're my guy, Frankie.
Uh-oh.
But you're just wrong. This is a fact.
That's the fact, yeah.
I mean, it is, yes, as you mentioned, Domantas Sabonis, great player. Mike Brown, fantastic coach, really, really fun. But De'Aaron Fox is the thing that makes this thing go. And without De'Aaron Fox, this team is frankly, they're probably a play-in team at best. De'Aaron is the thing that really makes them incredibly dangerous. And without him, I mean, there is no national appeal. Domantas Sabonis is somebody who, from the national media perspective, is overrated, as we've heard. And without De'Aaron, I just don't think that the Kings would have as much attention as what they would do, or is what they have right now.
Let's
round
see
us
here.
out, Mr. Gleason.
De'Aaron Fox is the biggest reason the Kings have more national TV games this year. That is a fantasy. Just looking here, and a lot of these games, I'm guessing a majority, are Kings home games, the games that are on national TV. The biggest reason the Kings have more national TV games, and it's all interrelated. If the Kings don't have De'Aaron, Mike Brown, and a great team, this doesn't matter. But the biggest reason is the atmosphere for Kings games is like nothing else in the NBA. It's great TV to have people going crazy for their team. It's great for the NBA to show fans around the country, this is how you're supposed to behave. See how excited they are? And that is the single biggest reason. There are more than one reason. There's more than one reason, but the biggest reason Kings have more national TV games is because the atmosphere of Golden One is unlike anything else in the league.
You know, Frankie, I was actually going to give you the point there. You made a very good point of saying that the beam is one of the reasons.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
But Whitey said the fans, and I am a fan, so Whitey is really saying me, I'm the reason. Point goes to Whitey.
Quick side note, 16 of the 22 national TV games are at home, by the way.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's incredible. Wow.
Not surprised. Thank you, Frankie.
All right, next question. We'll start with you, Chris.
By the way, yesterday I lost a point, so be careful.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah,
you can lose a Okay, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
You just have to not make bad puns.
I'm just going to shut up.
Okay, Chris. Mr. Vezenkov.
Oh, yeah.
Will be the front court upgrade that Kings fans were hoping for this offseason. Fact or fantasy?
This is as well a fact.
That's the fact, yeah.
As we know, Mr. Vezenkov is going to be a massive addition to the Sacramento Kings team. And what were Kings fans asking for? They're asking Kyle Kuzma, Jeremy Grant. What do those guys bring? I mean, Sasha's going to add another layer to this offense. He's going to come in. He's going to be a 40% plus from three guy from day one. He's going to fit into the offense seamlessly. Low usage, just like Harrison Barnes. Probably not even going to notice that Harrison Barnes isn't even out there anymore because Sasha's going to be taking all of his minutes. He's absolutely the upgrade that Kings fans were clamoring for. They just didn't even know it.
Is it Whitey or me next?
Let's go with you.
Okay. I'm also going to say that's a fact.
That's the fact, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to be posting Kyle Kuzma numbers or even Jeremy Grant, but the biggest impact that he's going to make is stability in the rotation. The Kings obviously were pretty thin at the forward spots. Sasha Vezenkov, someone who can shoot the lights out. I do think he will be taking and creeping in by the end of the year some of those starting minutes. I think we could see him as more of a I think he's making $5-6 million. I think he'll outperform that. He'll be playing more as a maybe $10+ million type player. But I do expect big things from Sasha this year, so I'm going fact.
Mr. Vezenkov will be the front court upgrade Kings fans were hoping for this off season. That is a fantasy. And I agree with much of what Chris said, Coach Dagnall, right on the money. And I think Vezenkov's going to be a big-time player, especially in 2 years. This year, he's going to be a huge factor. He's going to shoot lights out. People are going to be amazed at how good of a shooter he is. But he's not the upgrade fans have been clamoring for. The upgrade that Kings fans were hoping for this season, it will not be Vezenkov. It'll be the improvement in Keegan Murray. That will be where the improvement that Kings fans have been clamoring for. That's where it comes from this year.
You all make incredible points. Frankie, I'm going to give you the point.
That's a pity point.
You're the guest.
I thought so.
You brought the money into aspect. Not only is this going to help the Kings now, but in the future, because they're not going to be paying for a player of his quality. Great point, Frankie.
Hey, raise your hand if you have a point so far.
All right, don't do that.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Judge Verlad, thank you.
All right.
Let me guess. This is the last question.
Frankie's our guest. Big baseball guy.
Okay.
That wacky inside the park home run at Oracle was just another example of what makes baseball great. Fact or fantasy? And since we are late on time, I will let you know this question is worth 5 points.
Okay. So get through it as quick as I can. I'm going fact.
That's the fact, Jack.
Baseball is, to me, I mean, I love baseball. Chris knows this. We talk about it all the time. I think it's great because you can see something new every day. There's so many different things that can happen on a nightly basis. That is a perfect example of something that I don't know if we'll ever see it again. We may not. But the fact that it's a mixed bag, that's why I love baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a fact. I'll give you another example happened last night. And I play Frankie's right. It's a beautiful thing about baseball. You can go there every day and see something new. There was another example just last night. My daughter's a big Padre fan because she went to school down there, and she had never seen a player steal home. And so in one day, we had that incredible weird inside the park home run. And then for Fernando Tatis, he's stealing home. That's baseball. That's what makes it so great. It's the same thing every day, but then you have these surprises that you will never see again. You never know when it's going to happen.
I will yield my time because I think Frankie made an excellent point, and I don't want to steal points away from Frankie.
You guys are being too nice.
You know, Frankie, you made an incredible point. Whitey, your point of why that inside the park home run was so great was because of stolen home base in San Diego.
No, that's not what I said.
It sounded like what he said. It sounded to me like what he said.
I mean, this should go to Frankie, but Frankie, it wasn't your turn. It was Whitey's turn. You just jumped in there with no respect for our game or our show. I award you 0 points. Whitey, you are our winner.
Just giving it to me.
I was waiting for the.
You are our winner.
Thank you, Your Honor.
6-1 over our newest guest, Frankie. No points for Chris. Thank you very much.
I was waiting for the guy.
Yielding my time.
He had gone twice. First, he'd gone.
Yeah,
first 2 times.
I thought if you win, you go again.
Yeah,
huh?
That's what it should be.
Oh, you're
winner checks. Winner checks.
Yeah,
you're telling me.
This isn't losers
me how to.
This isn't losers.
Where's the bailiff at? Bailiff.
I thought he did pretty well though. All things considered.
Ain't even there. Where's Simone? Where's Simone? Simone said she was going to be the bailiff. This is literally. She literally walked in here during the break and was like, "I'm going to be the bailiff." And then now we need somebody kicked out of the court.
Well played. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Your Honor. What looks like the most pivotal stretch of the new Kings schedule. That's next year. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. What did we learn about the 49ers quarterback battle in the first preseason game?
Darnold out of his own end zone, throwing right sideline. Ronnie Bell's got it out across the 40. That was a beautiful throw.
Will Trey Lance have a significant role on this team?
Lance again over the middle of the field, caught out to the 41-yard line, Chris Conley. And that was a beautiful response from Trey Lance.
Find out on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. We feature prime seafood and hand-cut steaks, and we have a great wine list with 60 selections by the glass from just $12. Come on in and let us treat you like family and enjoy our wide selection of prime seafood and steak. Having a meeting or large group dinner, our newest restaurant in Rockland features 3 different size event spaces for large group gatherings. 80 guests, not a problem. Bennett's Kitchen Bar and Market, Eureka and Lead Hill Road in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento, and our brand new Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. Come let us put a smile on your face and enjoy all our hospitality. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
Are you ready to cruise into the new school year in style? Look no further than Elk Grove Kia's back-to-school sales event happening right now. Rev up your engines because the 2023 Kia Forte LXS is calling your name. Zoom through town in this sleek ride for just $149 a month plus tax. Unbeatable style and affordability in one package. But wait, it gets even better. Feel the adrenaline rush with the 2024 Kia K5 GT line, the hottest sedan this side of the Pacific. Get behind the wheel for only $299 a month plus tax. Experience power, performance, and sophistication like never before. Don't miss out on the best selection we've had in over 3 years. Check us out at Elk Grove Kia or elkgrovekia.com. 2023 Forte 24-month lease of $149 plus tax with $41.30 required at signing residual of $15,256 at $10K per year, 20 cents per mile over reserve security deposit required subject to finance approval. GK 8921 expires 8/31/23. 2024 K5 24-month lease of $299 plus tax with $47.12 required at signing residual of $21,782 at $10K per year, 20 cents per mile over reserve security deposit required subject to finance approval. GK 8932 expires 8/31/23. Elk Grove Kia.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pie customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pie Insurance.
We heard about Pie Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pie a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypie.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pie.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pie. Or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypie.com. That's trypie.com.
Everyone knows that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers. And that's especially true when it comes to your air conditioning system.
A precision tune-up and professional cleaning costs a little bit up front, just $87, but will prevent much bigger, more expensive, and inconvenient problems later.
We actually replace systems all the time from people who don't get annual tune-ups. They either forget or they just don't realize it's important. So instead of their systems lasting 12 or more years like they should, they need to be replaced in just 6 or 7 years.
Don't risk it. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Call Bell Brothers for an $87 air conditioner precision tune-up today and keep your system clean, energy efficient, and in good working shape.
Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
No surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlade with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA schedule has been released, and the Kings will start their 23-24 season on the road against the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, October 25th. They will then come back home to host the Golden State Warriors for the Kings home opener on Friday, October 27th. That will be on ESPN. Speaking of ESPN, the Kings will also have 22 national television games this season. 11 will be on NBA TV, 6 on TNT, and 5 on ESPN. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Well, the NBA schedule, brand new schedule, finally here. We're going to take a moment here to look at two of the stretches that appear to be pivotal stretches for the Kings. Obviously, Chris, the new schedule, you don't know. You look ahead to, say, March, which is what I'm going to do in a minute here.
Right.
Who knows what the team will be doing health-wise,
exactly.
Who's going to be even on the roster. But as best as we can tell, you can look ahead and say, wow, that looms as a really significant stretch. And for me, it is that entire month of March in which the Kings will have 16 games.
Wow.
11 of those 16 in the month of March will be at home, including the Bulls on the 4th. Then they've got Spurs on the 7th, Rockets on the 10th, Bucks on the 12th, Lakers on the 13th, Knicks on the 16th, Grizzlies on the 18th, all at home. Then they're on the road, Toronto, Washington, the Magic, before coming back home to wrap up the month of March against the Sixers and the Mavericks again.
My goodness.
And the Utah Jazz.
That's a tough stretch to end it. And like that's like such a key part of the schedule, just in terms of like you want to be kind of hitting your stride a little bit at that point in the year. You know, it's post deadline, yes, but also post All-Star break. And, you know, at that point you're kind of ramping up for the playoffs. You're positioning for seeding, especially if the West is going to be as tight as what it was last year. I mean, let's not forget that last year, there was like 4 or 5 games that separated the 10 seed from the 5 seed. I mean, it was so close. The margins were so tight that, you know, a schedule that wouldn't be favorable for the Kings could be really, really detrimental to their playoff hopes. But I think, you know, there's definitely a good helping of some tough matchups in the month of March. But you mentioned it, at least you have the benefit of having a lot of those games at home. 16 games in 31 nights is that's really, really tough, but at least you'll be sleeping in your home bed for a majority of those, you know, if you want to take any sort of positive out of it. But there's a lot of tough teams in that stretch. I mean, you mentioned Milwaukee, the Lakers, they play Memphis, and then that stretch to end the month of Philadelphia, Dallas, Utah, and then starting the month with Clippers, Knicks, Boston. That is just absolutely brutal. But, you know, like you said earlier, the way that the league is so balanced nowadays, you're going to have a tough time in anybody's schedule finding 4 or 5 games in a row that feel like a cakewalk. And, you know, that definitely is not an easy stretch. But again, at least silver lining, they're going to be at home, and hopefully this year the Kings can perform better at home than what they did last year. I mean, last year I think there were only 5 games above 500 as a home team, and you mentioned and have been mentioning the home court advantage, or at least in the crowd that the Kings have. They need to turn that into actual tangible success, and they should be, I mean, realistically, they should be near 30 wins at home this year. There's no reason why, with the talent they have and the crowd that they have and the level of excitement for this season, they should be able to take care of home court this year. And if they don't, it's just a massive disappointment.
I think Frankie said 16 of the 22 nationally televised games are home games for them.
That's insane.
And I do think a lot of that is because the NBA just loves the atmosphere here.
It's a great environment. It's like a guaranteed awesome, at least you're going to get a great crowd. I mean, it doesn't even matter, you know, some of their national TV games, you know, against the San Antonio Spurs. That's not a home game. Let me try and see if I can find like a Saturday against the Utah Jazz might not be, you know, the most exciting game for most teams. But if you're going to put that on NBA TV or ESPN, Kings fans will sell it out because it's a national TV game, and they take pride in showing out on national TV. And I think
it's great publicity for the league.
So right.
To show games from here when it's full and everyone's going crazy and having a great time watching basketball.
I mean, just going absolutely nuts. And then you get, of course, I think it's actually crazy to say, I think national TV nowadays, when they have the Kings on, is rooting for the Kings because part of the experience of watching the Kings is if they win, you get to see the beam lit as well.
Kings
and they
fans,
want to show that on TV.
Yes. Kings fans are doing so much to promote the NBA.
Yeah.
They should let us in. Not the Kings, but the league should let us in for free.
Exactly. They should, or at least do us some favors like you've done other franchises in the past. Like, could you just freeze an envelope for us every so often? Like that's all we ask for, man.
Well,
Just
did,
cut us a
we
break.
ended up with Purvis Ellison.
Oh,
so
well, that was literally one time. Can you do it again? Or could you maybe not put us against the Warriors in the first round? Or I don't know. Could you just fix it in our favor? It just never feels like things are in our favor. And it feels like, honestly, for the first time in a very long time, this does feel like, truthfully, a very favorable schedule for the Kings. Like, it does feel like the NBA took this schedule from the Sacramento Kings perspective and said, okay, how do we make this as desirable of a team as possible? How do we maximize the most out of what this team can give the NBA?
Is there a road stretch in here that stands out to you?
There's a couple. There's two really big ones. I mean, to start off the season, I mentioned how early road trips can really bring teams together. What is this? 4 of their first 6 games are on the road at Utah, at Golden State, and then the 2 games in Houston. But then after that, in the middle of November, they have a 6-game road trip, at LA, at San Antonio,
That's
which will be a play-in game. Yes, I'm sorry, the Lakers in LA. That'll be on ESPN. Then against San Antonio in San Antonio, that'll be a play-in in-season tournament game on ESPN. Then they play at Dallas, and then they play 2 games at New Orleans, and then another game at Minnesota. And there's also a 7-game trip a little bit later in the season. In late January, they go at Golden State on the 25th, at Dallas on the 27th, at Memphis on the 29th, at Miami on the 31st. And that's a brutal 4-game trip already. And then they have three more at Indiana to play Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield, at Chicago, and then at Cleveland. And let's not forget, last year at Cleveland, the Kings had an incredibly exciting game where I think they finished the game on a 13-0 run without De'Aaron Fox to win that one. So definitely a game that I have scheduled on my calendar.
One of the things that really stood out last year in the Western Conference, everyone was aware of it. We all talked about it. We just weren't used to the fact that it was so compacted
right
in the middle of the conference.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be that way for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every game against a team in your division, in your conference, is going to be potentially so significant in terms of the standings.
Right.
So that means the road trip you just talked about, Wednesday, November 15th through Tuesday, November 28th, through Friday, November 24th. That is a crucial stretch because you got Lakers, Spurs, Mavericks, Pels, Timberwolves. And then the last game where you come back home, you're playing the Warriors again.
A lot of Western Conference opponents right there.
Crucial Western Conference stretch.
You're right. Absolutely. And, that's especially early in the season. We've talked about in the past just how important it's going to be for this Kings team to get off to a hot start, because that's really their advantage over most of the league, is the fact that they have the level of continuity that they're bringing back this year. They should be able to get off to a hot start, and it would do them a lot of favors in the long run if they can get off to a really good start to this regular season, because who knows, by the middle of the season, will Phoenix have things figured out? Will the Lakers remain healthy? Will the Warriors actually figure it out? And will the Chris Paul thing actually be an additive where, I think a lot of people are questioning if maybe that's going to be their downfall, me included.
They're just so old and small.
Yeah. That's the problem with Golden State. Yeah, traditionally in the past with Golden State, them being small was their advantage. They would be faster than everyone. They could shoot, and it would give them some real advantages on the floor. But as they get older, as they all lose a step, I think the only benefit of their age is just their wisdom. Funny enough, I think that it really is just the fact that that's an incredibly experienced team who should know how to get it done, but the question will be, will their bodies hold up throughout the season? Because they don't have the luxury of having Jordan Poole, who might be able to step up for 15 to 20 games and keep their season afloat. I mean, if Steph Curry doesn't play over 70 games, I don't see any chance for the Warriors to really finish in the secured playoffs. I think at that point they're hoping for a play-in.
Did you see the NBA 2K trailer?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And they had Jordan Poole
Yes, calling ISO on Draymond. Yeah, it was incredible.
It was pretty funny.
The best part was they did it as a way of saying like, yeah, like we're getting real life like animations. Like this game, the blending between real life and video games has never been more seamless. And they show like Steph Curry taking a step back. Then they show KD with the signature, in and out dribble to a step back. And then it's Jordan Poole ISOing Draymond Green and being like,
beating him.
No.
Yeah.
And he does beat him. Yeah, he beats him. And I wouldn't be surprised if, let me see when that game is actually. Let me pull up the Warriors schedule here. When do they play? When does Jordan Poole return to Golden State here? So, of course, schedule makers, they know what they're doing. On ESPN on Friday, December 22nd, at home, the Golden State Warriors will play the Washington Wizards. Jordan Poole's return, December 22nd, right before Christmas. What a gift that'll be on ESPN. There's no other reason for that game to be on ESPN. There's why?
The Wizards
why would they put the fact that the Warriors? We saw a graphic earlier. Warriors had 41 national TV games. The fact that one of those is a Washington Wizards game. It's just incredible. The drama of this league is unparalleled. It's the best. When do they play in Washington? They don't play in Washington for a very long time. So who knows if Poole will even be playing.
We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll look at Ja's suspension, how long he's going to be out, and how that factors in to when the Kings play the Grizzlies and what should be some absolutely crucial Western Conference games. We've got that and a lot more here as we continue our first peek at the brand new Kings NBA schedule next. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
So the Kings are getting 22 national TV games, 11 of which are real national TV, ESPN and the TNT.
Are we going to get to the point where we're just going to say the games that aren't nationally televised?
I mean, look, you know
Put
what?
them on. They're America's team.
They want what they want, Jason, and what they want apparently are the Sacramento Kings.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Download the Sactown Sports app and listen to Whitey and Watkins on your smartphone.
Thanks for being with us today. We continue to sift through the brand new NBA schedule. One new note today on James Harden. You hear where he's talking about playing now?
Yeah, I think I did. I heard that he's got some interest playing overseas.
Yes,
potentially.
China. Yeah. So he
going
says.
Going the Starberry route, I guess.
According to Keith Pompey, Philadelphia Inquirer.
That guy knows a thing.
Yeah, James Harden has expressed an interest in potentially playing in China. Every time I come here, the love is just like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So I feel like they deserve to actually see me come play here.
Okay.
Love is always crazy here. I love that. I think these people deserve.
They deserve to see. You know what? You guys are worthy. I think you guys have deemed yourselves worthy of being in my presence. I would definitely. I would say so. Yeah.
Another reason.
It's a wild statement.
Here's what he's talking about.
Is he trying to get leverage with that? Is that a leverage play? Is that supposed to intimidate Daryl Morey?
He probably is a little blown away by the fact that his wine, J. Harden wine, sold in China this week 10,000 bottles within 10 seconds during a live stream.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, he's like, okay, okay, y'all love me like that. Okay. Well, maybe I will. Maybe, shoot, I understand.
10,000 bottles within 10 seconds.
No, that's ridiculous. James Harden doesn't have that level of pool anywhere. There's no way. He could probably go to
Is that like 1,000 bottles a second, Captain Math?
I'm not doing that. I'm not touching that. I'm not. You're sorely mistaken if you think I'm even gonna try and whip out the calculator on that. I'm not touching that one. It's a lot. It's a lot for sure. That's impressive for sure. I mean, yeah, if you know, absolutely. Like the Asian market is absolutely one that has been one that's been really lucrative for a lot of NBA stars. I mean, Kobe did a great job. He really planted his flag in making that a huge part of the Kobe brand, and he would make routine trips down to Asia all the time.
Yao had a lot to do with it.
Right, absolutely.
Clay went over there and missed a dunk.
He did. I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that moment. That was when Clay was like, he was in his peak of just making memes almost daily.
As far as Harden going to China, Keith Pompey says it's not likely. He'd be in violation of his contract, unable to sign for another professional team. Should he withhold playing services for more than 30 days after the start of the last season covered by his contract?
Wow.
So
okay.
It's some people who assume that he has any interest in playing in China think, yeah, down the road he might go over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a Stephon Marbury situation or something when he's truly like, when he's done. It'll probably be the point once the Chinese basketball league can pay him more than the NBA. That'll be the moment he goes over. He might still have a little bit left to give in the tank, but you know, I think it's been very clear that James Harden is pretty money motivated. And, yeah, absolutely. You could see how if you really don't care about your NBA legacy, go make your money, bro. No, there's no shame in it, but it's just, you better be ready to be talked about in a different light because, it will just be very apparent that what's important to you isn't necessarily winning a championship or your NBA legacy, but, making money outside of the game.
Anybody remember how many points Jimmer scored in China?
I think it was like 60, wasn't it? Might have been more than that, but
higher.
Did he do a wilt?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Let's see.
80?
75?
Jimmer Fredette scores. Yeah, see, Mauser bets on like international basketball.
Yeah, he probably had
bets
money
on the Australian
the
league.
over 50 in that game.
Literally, right? You literally have.
It's been a while since I've bet on the NBL, but yes, I have.
That better have been like during LaMelo Ball, RJ Hampton times.
It was not.
Okay. Well,
yeah, Jimmer Fredette scores 75 Chinese basketball games. So, Harden's thinking, who did what? I scored 90 there, and I only have to play at one end.
Yeah, no, there's no, yeah.
And I'm going to sell a lot of wine.
James Harden would go ballistic in China. Are you kidding? He would, Stephon Marbury was a legitimate star in the Chinese basketball league. Like, it wasn't just that he had a big name. Like, he was putting up numbers in that league. And yeah, if Jimmer Fredette can put up 75 points in a game or whatever it was, yeah, James can do like 150 easy, I would guess. Especially if they call fouls.
Jimmer scores 70 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. So anyway, James Harden, someday maybe he goes over there. But for this year, no. And I know someone on the YouTube chat asked earlier, hey, what's this about Harden and the Kings? That was, again,
nothing.
Bleacher Report said, why don't they do this? Because it'd be stupid. So that's all that was.
Exactly.
How does the schedule work out for the Kings in terms of when they play Memphis and whether Ja would be playing?
So the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings do not play each other until New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2023. That'll be in Memphis. So you actually won't even be able to see Ja Morant here in Sacramento until later in the season, I believe.
March?
I saw it earlier. Where did it go? Now it escapes me as I need to find it. I believe March sounds right. Yes, it is March 18th. Will be the first time that they play Ja Morant, obviously significantly after his suspension. But let's not forget Ja was suspended, or is suspended, I should say, for the first 25 games of Memphis's schedule.
So you'd love to play them 3 times.
You would love to. Right. Yeah. If you could just get 3, whoever is in Memphis's in-season tournament group is licking their chops. But so the Kings actually aren't going to experience any of the Ja Morant suspension. As a matter of fact, they'll be getting him almost like a week or two after what his suspension is over with.
Assuming that he comes back.
Exactly. Yeah, after the 25. Exactly. Time, yeah, who knows? The Kings' 25th game of the season, just for time reference, is December 18th. So let's say Ja returns. Let's see here. Memphis has a game on the 18th and the 19th on the road. Let's just say Ja comes back December 21st. That would be a Thursday game at home against the Indiana Pacers. Could potentially be Ja's first game. And then they have one more game before Christmas on the road against the Atlanta Hawks, and then New Orleans Pelicans, Denver Nuggets, Clippers. And those are all on the road. And then they played the Sacramento Kings first game back at home on, again, December 31st, which will be the first time the Kings play them. So who knows? Honestly, it could be if they can't, like you're saying, maybe if it takes him some time to, get, his stamina under control or anything like that. If he, needs to get his conditioning up to shape. Maybe he doesn't play in that first home game. Maybe they sit him all the way through a couple road trips. There's potential that Ja's first game could be that New Year's game against the Sacramento Kings. For sure.
One good point that Frankie made before he humiliated himself on Factor Fantasy.
Don't do my guy like that. He's my guy. Okay? Don't do him like that.
Don't talk when it's not your turn to talk, and you might have won the game. I mean, is that hard? I don't
Host
know. Anyway,
better.
Yeah, but he made a great point, because I know you and I said, wow, the first 3 games of the year, you're at Utah, then you're home to the Warriors and Lakers, tough start. But as Frankie points out, sure, then you got the Warriors again, but then you've got Houston November 4th, Houston
love that
again November 6th,
love that,
Portland November 8th,
super love that.
OKC, I think OKC is going to be pretty good,
especially that.
But you have the Spurs in there as well, so you got some. I don't know, maybe some marshmallows early.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm excited to see for that OKC game? We can see Chet Holmgren here in Sacramento.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're a marshmallow, but
no, not at all.
I got them as the 4 seed.
You did, yeah. You said it in Factor Fantasy. You put your name on it and everything. 4th seed, and that probably means that they're going to finish with a record similar to what the Kings had last year. Maybe 48 wins at that. That'd definitely be a fantastic story, and they're more than capable of doing it. I mean, the talent that they have is just ridiculous. I mean, you talked earlier about Orlando having a ton of lottery picks. I mean, they've got maybe even more, and some still in reserve. Like OKC this year could absolutely be the Sacramento Kings of last year, if you will, where they just take a massive leap, and I think it's legit if it happens this year.
Mm-hmm. I think if it weren't for the Kings last year, I think OKC might have been the surprise team of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They almost made the playoffs.
Yeah, almost. I mean, I forget
average
sometimes
age,
that they made the play-in.
13 years, 4 months.
Years old.
That's incredible.
It's ridiculous. And that's with Timothée Chalamet as well. Like they get a couple stars in there, and absolutely. And Shea, for everything that we made about De'Aaron Fox and how ridiculous his season was last year, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was a first team all NBA guard.
Obviously, here's the danger of this, trying to predict the schedule. At this time last year, around the country, fans of NBA teams looked at their schedule and said, Sacramento, that's a W, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know that there's a team or 2 or 3 that we're doing that with now, and we don't know it yet, but we could be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, there's even Utah. Like Utah, again, is a team that played pretty well for the first half of last year, but there's no reason why you shouldn't believe that they could be a team that's a legitimate playoff team. Any team in the Western Conference,
Minnesota,
for the most part.
That's the one that I'm like,
Minnesota,
maybe,
though, they could figure it out. I mean, who knows? Like they could really turn things around.
They kept Naz Reid, right? So that's a playoff team.
Kept Naz Reid. They're another year with Gobert, and maybe they trade Towns this year. Who knows? I mean, they still have your guy Anthony Edwards, who can take leaps and bounds every single season.
Coming up next, we continue to digest the new schedule. Also, I know Chris won't like this. Which NFL preseason game this Saturday is the most likely to be a Super Bowl preview?
Why wouldn't I like that? Unless we're going to talk about the Lions again.
I don't know. Are we going to talk about the Lions? I don't know if we're going to talk about the Lions. We'll find out.
I feel like we're already talking about the Lions.
Whitey and Watkins, you brought them up. Sactown Sports.
Whitey and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
Will Christian McCaffrey lead the NFL in rushing? Can Sacramento's own Eric Armstead bring his game to another level?
Prescott back steps up in the pocket. He gets sacked. Back on the 15-yard line. Get in my belly.
Get in my
says
belly.
Eric Armstead.
Will rookie Jake Moody pick up where veteran kicker Robbie Gould left off? Find out on Whitey and Watkins every day at 11 a.m. during the 49ers Focus on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Byers Enterprises.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday, looking at sun and clouds and another hot day today. Not as hot as yesterday, but still plan for highs in the range of 100 to 105 with overnight lows in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Wildfires can easily engulf vulnerable homes. Safeguard yours with the Byers Fire Protection Package. Our one-piece seamless leaf guard gutters, roof shingles, vent covers, and more will help prevent disasters when wildfires hit. Learn more about fire hardening your home at thatsbyers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Much like you probably, my kids are going back to school next week. What does that mean? It means end of summer blowout on all systems with American Energy Heating and Air right now. $2,500 off full systems with systems as low as $34 a week. And American Energy Heat and Air offering a free Wi-Fi thermostat on high-efficiency units. As always, they're making the uncomfortable comfortable, but get in right now. This limited offer expires August 30th. You can call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Better Business Bureau A+ rating. 1981 is when they started serving the greater Sacramento area. They are Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner with heating, cooling, service, tune-ups, installations, and more. American Energy Heating and Air, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
It's time now for the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar and Home Services. Well, it was only one preseason game, but Sunday was very impressive for the Silver and Black. The talk of training camp so far has been the improved defense, and they sure did look good, with a couple of early possessions, 3 and outs of San Francisco's offense, multiple sacks, and a lot of quarterback pressure. Offensively, Aiden O'Connell looked sharp, 15 of 18 for 141, and maybe locking down that backup quarterback position. Next up for the Silver and Black, the LA Rams on Saturday. Summer is so great for many things, but it's also a great time to get your home evaluated for solar. And while you're at it, make sure that roof on your house, it's in good shape. ACR Solar and Home Services would love to meet you and show you the kind of quality you can expect from ACR. I went to ACR Solar and I could not be happier with the work that they did on our roof. So go to acrsolar.com and start your savings today. ACR Solar and Home Services, quality, value, and integrity since 1979.
Don't wait, the giant summer sale ends soon at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We make buying a new Honda easy and stress-free. Pre-order online or in person today. We'll be there to help you every step of the way. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. The NBA schedule has been released, and the Kings will start their 23-24 season on the road against the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, October 25th. They'll then come back home to host the Golden State Warriors for the Kings home opener on Friday, October 27th. That will be on ESPN. Speaking of ESPN, the Kings will also have 22 national television games. 11 will be on NBA TV, 6 on TNT, and 5 on ESPN. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to Whitey and Watkins.
Hey, once again, I want to remind you that if you're looking for a way to help out the victims of the Maui fires, just go to SactownSports.com. Our fundraiser is Maui Strong Fire Relief Fund, raising money for the Hawaii Community Foundation. Our foundation has raised a lot of money so far. Thank you to those who have donated. Not everyone is in a position to help. If you are, we appreciate you just checking out the situation there on our website. 100% of the money we receive will go directly to help the people in Maui. So again, thanks for taking a look at that. We appreciate it. Whitey and Watkins here, continuing to figure out what's going on with this NBA schedule, looking for nuggets here and there. How about this from NBA Central on X? Portland Trailblazers.
I'll never get used to that.
I know. Portland Trailblazers' only TNT game next season is versus, guess what team?
TNT game next season, Miami
Heat in Portland, February 27th, which happens to be a few days after the trade deadline.
Oh, okay. What a
How about that?
Random coincidence.
What a coinky dink.
I'm sure no one thought of that, and there's no way that a Portland Heat game, which everybody knows, like that's must-watch TV for just for reasons. Totally, nothing has anything to do with Damian Lillard at all. There's no way, right?
I know a lot of people are already playing the game and going down the schedule. That's a win, that's a loss, that's win, that's loss. That's a losing proposition.
It is a pretty pointless exercise.
It's for losers, okay?
It's not great. I will say though, positive residual, which is not a thing that I have ever heard of, but I'm seeing tons of basketball people, like actual credentialed basketball media members sourcing this.
Kareth Burke?
I'm sorry, Kareth Burke. Yes, I'm sorry. And some Celtics people as well are referencing positive residual as a website that already has strength of schedule out there for this updated schedule for 2023. Guess where your Sacramento Kings fit on
strength of
schedule? I will also say that they have one of the tougher schedules.
But they play more Western teams,
I guess. Yeah, which is also a great point because everybody play. But you play the Warriors 4 times, and most teams wouldn't play the Warriors, Lakers,
top
Clippers.
10 toughest.
They have the 3rd toughest schedule according to positive residual, only behind the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets. It's then the Kings 3rd, the Lakers 4th, the Pistons 5th, and Golden State 6th, which
all based on last year's record.
I would assume so. Yes, it does show like a win percentage here attached to it, and so I would assume
road factor in there as well.
I would assume so as well. Yeah. So according to positive residual, the Kings have the 3rd toughest schedule in the NBA.
It also, of course, comes down to when you play teams. I remember last year noticing throughout the year, strength of schedule, Basketball Reference, the Kings had one of the easier schedules throughout the season. It's kind of odd. It's like, wait, shouldn't that all level out?
It definitely should.
Yeah, but the way it worked for them when they played teams, what their records were when they played them.
Yeah.
By some measures, they had one of the easier schedules in the league.
Yeah, very, very strange. But I mean, it's all you can do is play who's in front of you, and
I agree
try
with that.
and get and try and win those games that are in front of you. And if you win more than what you lose, then you will be a winning team. How's that? How's that for analysis?
I wanted to ask you what you thought of this. Just jump into football for a moment here because we got NBA, the new.
I know,
the new schedule, and we got week 2 of the preseason kicking off tonight, which means
can't wait.
Pretty soon we're gonna be all the way done with the preseason.
Almost 2/3 of the way.
I was looking at the Saturday schedule because we have, of course, the 49ers and the Broncos. You hear that game right here, Sactown Sports. There's a lot of interconference games. Which of these games on Saturday, in your opinion, is most likely to be a Super Bowl preview?
Okay.
So maybe none of them will be, but of these games, which is most likely to be a Super Bowl preview?
Okay.
Dallas at Seattle, Las Vegas at the Rams. Denver at San Francisco, we know. Kansas City at Arizona, I think we can throw that out, huh?
Yes. Yeah, we can throw the Arizona portion of that out.
Tennessee at Minnesota, you got to be kidding me.
Sorry, that's not happening.
New England at Green Bay.
It's definitely not happening.
Tampa Bay at New York Jets.
That's not happening.
Chicago Bears at Indianapolis Colts.
100% not happening.
Jacksonville, Detroit.
I mean, if you want me to say it, like that's the most likely of the games that we have lined up. Sure. I mean, those are.
By the way, I said Dallas and Seattle, not as nine.
That's not even possible for a playoff. That could be a playoff game, absolutely.
Right,
but,
that could be a Super Bowl. My apologies.
Couldn't be a Super Bowl, but besides that, I mean, yeah, I would say none of them. But Jacksonville, Detroit is at least two teams that have playoff aspirations.
Of those, which of those is the most likely?
Yes, I would. There you go. I would have to.
Denver, San Francisco?
No, Denver. I just don't think. I don't believe in Denver. I don't think that they were a Sean Payton away from not being a horrible football team last year. I think that runs pretty deep, and I think that they'll be better than they were last year. But I don't know if they're going to go from most disappointing team in the league to Super Bowl in the following year.
So, which of these games, in your opinion, Chris, is most likely to be?
I would say if I had to put any of these games as the most likely Super Bowl preview, it would be the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Detroit Lions.
Against the who?
Against the Detroit Lions.
Jacksonville and Detroit. That's what I thought.
I figured that's what you thought. I kind of pieced that together that you and I were probably going to be simpatico on that.
There you go.
Funny how that works. Yeah. You promised me we weren't going to talk about the Lions. It's
I made no such promises.
It's like, I mean, that's definitely in all seriousness, that is probably the most likely scenario of all of these. I mean, Denver, San Francisco absolutely has a chance. But I think Jacksonville is going to be really good this year. I think the fact that they're getting Calvin Ridley this year is going to be a huge addition to that offense. And, Trevor Lawrence is going to have a big prove it season in the sense of, there was so much hype about Trevor Lawrence coming into the NFL. I wouldn't say he's really lived up to it. He definitely has been, he's been more than serviceable, but he has not been that Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning level prospect like we were kind of all expecting him to be. And, he finally got a weapon this year in Calvin Ridley and another year with Doug Peterson. I could see Jacksonville making some noise this year in the playoffs after, a really good showing last year in the playoffs.
I think in some ways the Jags were the kings of the NFL last year.
Yeah,
I would say, considering how tough the conference is, they might have like somewhere between a 30 and 40% chance of getting to the Super Bowl. That might be a little high, but somewhere in there.
I mean, that
the
AFC
Lions maybe 14%
to make
get to the Super Bowl.
That feels high even. I mean, I think it's much like a Kings situation where it's like, how about they just make the playoffs first and we'll count our victories as they come. Let's not put the cart before the horse thing.
Yeah, people are getting a little carried away with the Lions.
Absolutely.
Maybe like a 5% chance.
I would say like a 1 or 2% chance, but we know
they're going to win the division, right? That's a given.
We don't know that. We definitely don't know that. I definitely saw a graphic yesterday on ESPN that just drove me insane. It was like the Lions are plus 150, I think, to win the division. And
I think it was in here when you saw that.
Yeah, and I almost walked out of the show. It was I cannot take this Lions hype anymore. There's just I don't know. They'll be a good team, and I feel like people are mistaking my hatred for.
Now, if Coach Campbell gets that live lion,
look out
on the sidelines during games,
they could go undefeated. Woo! I mean, look out! I'm not going to play with
in
a
their
lion
way
staring next to me. Heck no.
We'll continue to go over the brand new schedule. The crossover comes up next year. Whitey and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Whitey
and Watkins
on Sactown Sports. Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Enjoy the prime grilling season today with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, take up to 40% off select bathroom vanities. Plus, get free local truck delivery. And there's more. Get a Kohler White Elongated Water Sense toilet. Now just $199. Was $249. That's a savings of $50. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Vanities offer valid 8/10 through 8/23. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Kohler offer valid 7/7 through 10/26.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Whether you're shopping for your favorite Honda online or in person, you'll see why Stockton Honda is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California and why buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Visit in person or online at StocktonHonda.com, where your favorite Honda is ready for you.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own lawn report.
Hi, it's Brian Bennett from Bennett's Restaurants in Roseville and Sacramento, and our newest restaurant, Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. We believe in serving the freshest handcrafted foods in a warm, convivial setting. We offer a great brunch featuring all your favorite plates, eggs Benedict, omelets, stuffed French toast, and much more. Pair the great food with great mimosas, and the weekend fun has just begun. And did you know that our Bubbles and Brunch special featuring any 2 brunch entrees and a bottle of bubbles is just $44 for 2? Having a meeting or large group dinner? Our newest restaurant in Rockland features 3 different event-sized spaces for large group gatherings. 80 guests, no problem. Bennett's Kitchen Bar and Market, Eureka and Lead Hill Roads in Roseville, and Bennett's American Cooking on Fair Oaks and Howe in Sacramento. And our brand new Bennett's West Side Grill at Rockland's Blue Oak Town Center on Lone Tree Boulevard. Find us on the web at bennettsrestaurants.com and book your reservation today. Eat well, stay well, and remember, Bennett's is where you'll always receive a hospitable welcome.
Check out Whitey and Watkins now on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and watch the show from your desk.
We appreciate you being with us today. It's a way of showing our appreciation. Thank you, Jay Martin, FD Jr. here. We would like to send you to see 50 Cent, Golden One Center on September the 4th. All you got to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now looking for lucky caller number
2. No, let's do 6. We'll do 6.
6. And
How
2
about
is 8.
switch it up. Switch it up.
Why not half for 50 Cent?
Oh, we can't do half a caller. That'd be tough. That'd be real tough.
What's the number now?
We can do caller 50, I guess. No, let's not do that. Let's do we'll just do caller 5. How about that?
Caller 5
We'll do 5. We're switching it up.
Took us a while to get there,
Yeah.
but wasn't it worth the trip?
Boy, it was.
Yeah. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now looking for lucky caller number 5, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. And here they are, FD Jr. Welcome.
Thanks. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Busy day. You know, we're so excited about the new schedule, but also we're excited by the fact that tonight, week 2 of the preseason starts, which means when that's done, we'll be 67% of the way done with the NFL preseason.
Let's go!
Yes!
Wait a minute. Are you telling me no more of those we can't speak about those stats, but those stats?
Yes. Yeah.
On
In
Twitter.
a game you can.
Yeah.
Right?
We talk about game stats. Yeah. Just not practice stats.
Not practice stats.
So you guys are over the 4 49ers quarterbacks and what they threw during practice today stats.
I mean, I enjoy looking at them, but
do you?
We just you can't analyze them.
Then
Like
why?
we can't realistically be like
Especially early in camp. Pardon me,
Yeah.
Chris, but you'll have like Sam Darnold was 4 for 5 and 7-on-7 drills. It's like, what? That's not a thing.
That's a major thing.
You know, it's so funny. We had Matt Mayoko on yesterday, and he even said himself, it's ridiculous I have to tweet these out, but I get engagement.
She's like,
so I'm
the
gonna do
engagement
it.
is crazy, dude. You cannot turn that down. Absolutely not. No, I'm looking at even like Mayoko's tweet today has like 51,000 impressions on it.
It's
So,
crazy just to know about what quarterbacks
that was
are
an
doing.
hour ago. And yeah, I mean, it's through the roof.
X is a big snap hive.
By the way, Sam Darnold today 1 of 7.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Cut
It's
him.
over. He's done.
It's over.
I just want to say something real quick about Matt Mayoko. As you know, FP, a great guy and a great guest.
He's
and
your
one
guy.
time we're doing an interview with he's my guy.
Yeah.
Doing an interview with him, and you could tell he's in the car, and you can tell something happened. He's just a little distracted, but it's like Matt Mayoko, so like everything's great. And we're going, oh, everything okay, Matt? He goes, yeah. I got a flat tire, but we're good. So he pulls over during the interview and gets a flat tire and just
That's incredible.
finishes the interview.
I'm wrapping it up.
Yes.
I'm like, hey guys.
Yeah,
I gotta
like
go.
we're good.
I
We're
gotta
good.
go.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'll
That's
take
a
care
pro,
of this
man.
That's a pro.
Yeah.
That's a pro's pro.
Yes.
Come on, Jay.
Seriously,
Absolutely.
like we are so blessed to have beat writers like that here in Northern California that
For
cover
sure.
the teams that do that good of a job too. Like Matt's been nails every single year for his very long career. I mean, he's earned everything he gets. So and just a great guy, like you said, Whitey.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
What did you guys think of the beat writer? You may know which one it was. I don't know who it was, but the beat writer who asked Gabe Kapler a question yesterday that he wasn't crazy about, and the beat writer hung in there and did a good job. Did you hear all that?
Yes, I saw the audio. I thought it was great. And shout out to the beat writer, because if you're going to ask a question like that and an answer from a manager is going to be kind of,
combative.
Stick with it. Stick with it. Be combative.
Yeah.
What's the worst? Gabe Kapler turned you down for a date? Like,
I would have crumbled.
Yeah.
I definitely would have crumbled.
So something about that beat writer. His name is Danny Emmerman, and I've had a
Okay.
chance to meet him before. He's from Boston. So
Okay.
born and
Oh, there
raised.
you
So
go.
we
Yeah,
have a
he's Boston.
Boston plant
Born and bred.
in the Giants beat. So he was really hammering questions, and I thought he asked a good question.
Yeah.
Right? Why not let the rookie hit when you pinch hit him the night before or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
The whole
exactly
story.
Right. Same
Yeah.
situation 2 nights before, different hitter. What's the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference? And it's unfortunate when you don't let the athlete be an athlete. And sometimes the Giants come underneath or under a lot of criticism for that.
do you guys think when like you see an answer like Kapler gave, it's a defense mechanism because he knows that the guy that's asking the question is probably right and that he probably shouldn't have done what he did? And so you feel like you have to be combative to almost justify what you did?
You know him better than I don't know him at all, but he may walk that back a little. I don't know if he will or not, but I think it's just the losing is, gets to you, right? They are not. They've lost 4 series in a row.
Tough part of the schedule for the Giants right
and then
now.
you got somebody, then you think he's baiting you, whether he is or not. It's like,
Right.
yeah, well, I'll make that distinction. I'm just wondering if you know what it is. I was like,
Right.
it's just the tension.
Ooh, love it though.
Yeah.
A lot of tension. And they have the Braves coming up. So good
That's
luck there.
right. Yeah, I'm told that's a good baseball team
Yeah.
this season.
I even know that.
Yeah. Oh, future Dodgers fan
Yeah,
Chris
exactly.
knows that.
No. We need to recruit this guy.
Yeah,
This thing about being a
people
Dodger.
Oh, I
coming-
think
people
I
are
am-
coming after
I'm
me.
bringing him to the blue side.
No.
See,
You
I'm
don't
a
wanna
free,
know
I'm
what
a
he
free
said.
agent. I'm just any and
Best
all
offer,
offers.
right?
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
here.
There's a
listening to the
story,
pitches.
FP. I don't know if it's true, but there's a story that Chris Watkins said on the radio that
I have no
if the
idea what
Dodgers
this
get
is.
Otani, I'll be a Dodger fan.
That's
I said I would heavily consider it.
That's my biggest fear, honestly. If Otani goes to the Dodgers and, I have kids one day and they grow up being a Shohei Otani fan and they end up being a Dodger fan because of it, and I have no control. Like, I'll do my best, right?
Yeah.
You can only do so much without being an abusive parent. But if that happens, I'll be extremely disappointed.
Would
And
you Would you like me to adopt them? I can.
Jay will show them the way.
Hang out with Uncle Jay.
Yeah, exactly. You got good genetics, man. Like, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah. So
Hang out with Uncle
say,
Jay.
I don't know what you guys are going to talk about today, but I'm guessing it's not a lot of baseball, but maybe it should be. That would be interesting.
We have some baseball coming up. I don't know if you saw ESPN's projections on what Shohei Ohtani should get with his next deal.
Oh, my
It
goodness.
just made me dizzy. I passed out.
So we'll be breaking that down, plus what's going on in the NL West right now. So, yeah, no, we'll have some baseball talk today. As well as I think like the Kings schedule came out and they have a few games on TV.
Yeah.
Is there anything like, I know you guys have a lot you want to say about that. Any early impressions you can give us of the schedule?
I was shocked by the just amount of TNT ESPN games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I legit thought like the majority of it would all be NBA TV because it's Sacramento still,
Right.
it was one season, but no, they got a lot of respect sent to them. And when you look at the overall schedule, I'm like, there's not a whole lot of like brutal stretches that we're used to seeing, that we're used to complaining about every year during this time.
But conversely, there's not a lot of those cakewalks.
No.
Where you got like 5 marshmallows in a row.
No, but I like that because it seems like whenever the Kings had a cakewalk, the cake like hit them in the face. Like it's just the cakewalk never went as it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the NBA. I think you guys touched on it. Just the balance overall in the NBA right now. The parity is at an all-time high. And it's so cool that you can look at the schedule and be like, wait a minute, this is a tough game. This is a tough game.
Yeah.
These guys are sneaky. And you can go through the entire schedule and say that about almost every single title.
Because the regular season matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a concept.
And then also we'll touch on the soap opera that is James Harden. Did you guys see what came out? Kevin McHale said
No.
about James basically
He said he
tanking to
wasn't
get him
surprised.
fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
we'll touch on that as well. So
My theory on the Kings getting so many of the TV games, Frankie pointed out, I think 16 of the 22 are here.
Yes.
And I think the NBA just loves showing the rest of the country.
Oh,
Look at
gosh,
these
yeah.
fans. That's the way we want you all to be.
No,
They love their basketball. Why don't you love it more?
I mean, besides the playoffs, right? You saw it when the Brooklyn game was on TNT and then they picked up that New York game. It's a wild atmosphere. It's almost like Kings fans like amp it up a little bit for the TV. They know the eyes are on them. So yeah, it's always a madhouse on national TV. And you're right. If I'm the NBA, I want to show that there's a fever for my product.
Right. Absolutely.
Or they just really like beams.
Or that, which I really think that's a part of it. I was saying that. Like, I think it's part of the television broadcast is like, hey, and if the Kings win, we get to show them lighting the beam. And that's like the thing that everyone across the country wants to see.
I mean, you saw it. They even picked it up on NBA TV when Fox and Sabonis were on last year. Malika's like, hey, let's light the beam in studio.
Last thing for you guys, because I know you want to get going here. We had our Beamy Awards when ESPN had the ESPYs. We had our Beamy Awards, and it was the best play of the year, best nickname. And Kevin Herter won 2 Beamies.
He did.
We're thinking maybe Media Day, we actually have these things made up.
Really?
We don't know what and presenting them to them.
Like a Dundee Award almost.
Yes. Well, that's the thing.
More
would
prestigious.
Would it have to be like really something that looks nice, or would we like insult them if they're like, what is that? Is that
No, I think you're onto something really good here. Like, we just buy some lightsabers, and
Verlot found some. Actually,
I was to say, I
if it was a trophy that you could press a button and it lit up.
Dare I say, because this is a very fun and relaxed team, I think it would go over really well. And I'm not just saying that to say it. I think they would have fun with it.
Yeah. Maybe they'd be mad. Like, how'd Herter get to?
Yeah, they probably would.
Maybe.
They probably would. Light a fire under them.
We hear about the locker room dissension in January, and it goes back to the BBs that Herter won.
Yeah. All right. So more on the brand new schedule. J Mars and FB Jr. right here. Sactown Sports.
The first ever NBA in-season tournament schedule is out, and our Kings have some great matchups, including national TV games against the Spurs and Warriors.
And Sacramento has won. They have risen to the occasion. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, this place is absolutely nuts.
Listen to every game on the